god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I would have died to delete Dragon's song! I did it though. I did it. I completely forgot. Holy shit.
Anybody want to buy a chocobo house right now? Anybody want? Holy shit, yo, let me lock in. Anyone want to buy a chocobo house right now?
All right, welcome everybody to MogTalk episode 134. Today we will be discussing the live letter. We'll go over it in a review, as the title says. If you guys are unfamiliar with MogTalk, MogTalk is a show about chocobo racing to savage rating. I did it in reverse today. It's a little bit different. Okay, caught that. That's good.
Wait, have you done chocobo racing?
No, never done an episode. Okay. I don't think I will ever do it.
I thought I missed the chocobo racing episode.
No. So the point is, the point is, you go from like the lowest possible thing that you'd ever talk about to the most difficult, most interesting thing that people care about, right? So it's like that's the range, like 0 to 10. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just exactly. Like that.
Chocobos. Chocobos. All right. Well, guys, if you I hope you're all excited to be here today. We have two wonderful guests with us. They've both been on the show before, but we're going to introduce them anyway so you guys can make sure you know who they are. First, I'm going to introduce the person who's been on, I think, the least out of the two, which is Mr. Larryzaur. Mr. Larryzaur.
Hello.
How are you doing today, dude?
I'm doing good. It's morning time. Good morning. Hello.
It's morning time for me, too, even though it's like 3. It's like it's still morning.
Yeah, that's also morning time for me in the U.S.
3?
Yeah. 3 p.m. Yeah, that's morning.
I only woke up like a few hours ago, man.
Yeah.
No wonder I was like waiting for your reply. I'm like, wait, Frosty, is there a mock talk today? How long more? There's no reply. I'm like,
He's not awake
yet. Yeah. Larry, tell everybody who you are real quick.
Hi, I'm Larry. I make dumb videos on YouTube and I stream on Twitch.
Okay. That's good.
That's me.
What are you like? If you do you have a catchphrase? Do people like go, "Hey, this is the Larry catchphrase"?
Hi.
Hello. Is that it? Okay, we'll go with that.
It's me.
It's me, Larry. All right. Next, we have
Larry. Are you playing in JP server or?
No, I'm playing in US server and having lots of lag. It's great.
How much is the ping from JP to NA?
It's
100.
It's about 100, yeah, 100 milliseconds or so. Like, if I'll usually have packet loss. Like usually, like it'll be okay, and then all of a sudden I'll just have packet loss, and it'll just slingshot, and I'll be like, oh, okay.
I mean, that's part of the game now, right? It's not so bad. I mean, EU players had to deal with that for like what, 2 years or something. It's fine.
Yeah. I've gotten used to it. It's pretty bad though.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
All right. Next, we have Arthars on here. Mr. Arthars. How are you doing, buddy? You're awake? You're here. The alarm clock was set. Like everything's just in your favor today, right?
Hey guys, what's up, man? I'm awake. I'm awake, you know?
Sort of. It sounds like you're like halfway there.
Yeah, I'm halfway. I took like a 3-hour nap, but in between, very consciously, subconsciously, very aware. Like, you know, every 15 minutes, I'll be like opening my eyes. Like, is it? Hopefully, I don't see the sun. Because the last time when I opened my eyes and I saw the sun, the first thing that came to mind is fuck.
So I want to talk to you. Let's talk about that for like 2 seconds here. So if for those that don't know, we had Arthars scheduled on a show back in I think December or something, and he accidentally overslept, and it's okay, shit happens. I'm not worried about it, and I know he felt bad because he was just angry. He was angry right after he woke up. And he was just mad the entire time.
I did not even when I opened my eyes and I saw the sun. Right, I did not even dare to go near my PC because I know the amount of stuff that I will see on Discord. I don't even dare to walk near. The first thing I did when I woke up, I opened the door, I went out, I look at my wife, I'm like, did you do something to my phone? And then she said, yeah, I saw you sleeping really well, so I decided to off your phone. I can't even get mad. I'm not even mad at her because it's so sweet, right? At the same time,
That was
what
sweet.
the fuck? Like, so the first thing I thought is, let's go grab something to eat. I don't even dare to walk near the pizza for 3 hours. I don't even dare to go near the pizza. I was like sitting outside at the living room watching TV, but I'm not there. I was just like,
There's a big mess over there, and I really don't want to deal with it right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I'm like,
It's okay, Arthas. We were worried about you. We weren't upset. We tried to like make fun of you, of course, just so we can feel better about the situation. But we knew, I knew it was always a possibility. You know, like when I do this show, we bring people from all different like places in the world come on this show, and so it's always possible someone's going to oversleep. And I think it's happened. You weren't the first person to do it. Ethis did it to me too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You see, guys, that's what you call good. Someone who's prepared, a good host. You know.
Yeah,
Good job.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of prepared. I just picked somebody up on the fly and was like, "Hey, man, you want to get on the show?" And Pook came on and he did his thing. Of course, he was not Arthas because Pook is not the person who yells and screams. He doesn't.
Dude, I feel so bad because I wanted to talk to Sophie so much, and then oh my god, I just missed it. Oh my god,
Yeah.
of all the time.
I invited Sophie to this show, and I was like, "Arthas is going to be on this show," and she's like, "No.
Yeah. Oh no.
Nope, not
She's
going to
like,
do it." No, that's not what she said. But
Can't work. Nope.
No,
Not gonna
okay.
work.
I can't work with this level of unprofessionalism. All right. Well, let's get into it today, guys. As we all know, Live Letter happened just a couple of days ago. It was. Well, I mean, I guess it's a day and a half ago now, right? That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah. Exactly a day and a half. Yeah.
And we were all kind of expecting a few things. The video came out. The date for the patch came out, which I guess we all kind of guessed it was going to be on the 30th.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it would be a surprise if it was a little bit later. It would be a surprise if it was earlier. But on the 30th, we're like, that makes perfect sense.
I was hoping to be. I don't mind it to be a little bit later, to be honest.
Yeah?
Since Ultimate until now, right? I didn't really get. Usually I will get like a good 1 month, entirely totally off FF for 1 month. Don't even log in and do anything, you know. But this time,
because of Ultimate, it's like just full on, always. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
Really still burn out.
that's pretty interesting
That's
to
for us.
talk about, too. I mean, like, when we start discussing Ultimate, that's been such a huge deal for the game for the last couple of months. When we get this next patch, everyone's going to get geared up. Is it going to be, like, nerfed Ultimate because we're all geared up, or do you think that they're going to, like, limit it to a certain eye level or something?
Wait, didn't they say they will sync it to 345? I mean,
I don't know.
Wait,
I'm not sure.
No,
I'm
it
not
is?
sure whether I'm not sure when Yoshida said that it meant like 345 as in maybe he just think that since right now the maximum that we can get, I mean weapon is 345, so he just
I think it was that it was tuned for 345. Right.
I'm not sure. So
Nah.
wait, someone told me though like it's gonna
People
be
are saying
locked.
yes in chat.
It will be locked. No, it will be locked. 100%. But
Really?
yes, it will. There will be item level sync.
Oh, wow.
But if you think about it, the second coin was locked at 130. So it was released at 110, but it eventually got locked at 130.
Well, I mean,
So
even
the
if they
price-
lock it at 345, we will still have better gear than they had when they cleared Ultimate, because that's
Yes.
5 more eye
It'll be
levels.
best fly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it'll be a slight nerf, I guess, but it won't be like huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the mechanics in the whole Ultimate, getting that extra HP, getting that little bit of DPS is very minor, I would say. Like, if you look back at how the second Koi Savage, getting to 130, it's still not straightforward. It definitely makes it slightly easier, but it's still not straightforward.
Well, it's mostly just super mechanic heavy, so it
Yeah.
almost doesn't even really matter if you
Yeah.
use that much better.
The only part that really matters is at the end. If someone dies, then your like DPS completely sinks, and so having a little
like
bit
that.
extra DPS could be good for
It
that.
will definitely help Golden Bahamut, though. It will definitely help Golden Bahamut.
Yeah. Because that's kind of just a burn there.
Yeah, a
Almost
burn
right,
and the little bit more vitality from the 5 item level might ease. You
Yeah.
forget maybe
But
one
if you're
path.
getting there, you're getting there. You can do everything else. So
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So are you going to devalue people who've cleared it after 4.2? Or are you going to be like, no, that's awesome. That was a good job. Or are you going to be like, well, I cleared it when it wasn't so easy. Are you going to be in that kind
Wow.
of mindset, huh?
Nah.
Nah.
I mean, I'm gonna take this chance to really say it, dude. People who cleared today, how long has it been? Average, okay. Let's just say my static cleared 8 weeks already. Let's just say my static 8 weeks. I've seen people who clear 8 weeks and still suck at it. So they wear the title, the ledger. I'm so disgusted that some of them wear the title and it's so bad that I myself don't even put on the title. It's a new mentor, by the way, except that there's no fucking crown on it. Clown.
So it's like a mentor. You're like, I have legend title, so I can say whatever the fuck I want, and I'm right.
No.
Is that what it is?
I've seen bad players. I literally play with bad people with the title. Day in, day out.
It's like back in A Realm Reborn when people cleared turn 13 and they got the Final Witness title. It would be like an omen if you saw somebody with that title on, and you'd be like, "Oh, they're bad. They're terrible."
Oh,
yeah. No, it's.
so can
I don't know what to say, man.
I can relate this to PvP. Arthas, you want me to relate this to PvP real quick?
Okay.
So, there's a thing in PvP, like if you get a certain rank, there's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, right? If you end the season on one of those ranks, you get a title. It's called Diamond Wolf, or it's called Platinum Wolf. All right, but people actually, people only really care about Diamond Wolf, right? They're like, oh, you made it to the top. Anything else is kind of like, why would you wear it? You're just saying, hey, I made it up to platinum, but that doesn't really mean too much because anybody can make it to platinum. But people, unironically, they wear it around. And Gold Wolf, which is like mid tier. You look at it you're like,
God, gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
And so when you see people wearing these titles, you're like, this is not going to be good. This guy is proud of not achieving, in the top.
I see what you're getting at.
But this is different though. If you wear that legend, you are the best of the best players at the moment. But at least for me, that's not what I'm seeing. It's really bad. I literally have my static tank. Can't even passage of arm the right way. Are you fucking kidding me? 8 weeks later, after the last extra flare, you think that is that everybody in the Discord is like, whoo! And then I'm like, no, don't do that. Because somehow, some way, someone will find a way. And then the Paladin passage of arm the wall, where we are all under Bahamut. He's passing, and then he'll be like, oh my god, yes, a passage arm the wrong way. I'm like, 8 weeks! You cannot even passage of arms, legend, golden weapon. You cannot. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
I mean, do you think it's because they're bad players? Do you think it's just they're bad players, or they got lucky and carried, or they just had one really good day and they've been living off that good day for quite a while?
I don't necessarily feel that if you can clear, I think you know how to play the game. But it's the consistency. It's not about that one clear. This game is never about that one clear. The first clear can always be lucky. Second, third clear. It's never about getting one clear. Okay, because of the weekly lockout, you got 7 days. Depends on how many hours you play. You need that. You only need that one clear that 1 week. That doesn't mean that you are consistent. It doesn't mean they're consistent, right? I want to drift a little bit. It's like playing football, right? If you are that good, it has to be day in, day out. It's like business day in, day out. Your boss don't recruit you just because you can code a program well once in a month. That's not what he recruit you for. It's about the consistency. For me, it's always about the consistency. The title doesn't mean that you're consistent. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
What if you saw somebody with the Necromancer title?
The Necromancer title.
One person with the Necromancer title.
I don't even know what the Necromancer title is.
It's from clearing 200 House of the Dead.
Oh, somebody 200. One person, you're right.
Yeah. One person got it.
What?
Yeah,
somebody got it.
Somebody
cleared that is an achievement. That is an achievement, right? That is an achievement.
Yeah, that was a year in the making or something like that.
Yeah, now that is an achievement. Like for me,
since Remage came out, I think.
Yeah.
Stormblood, yeah.
There's also title like you earn a certain amount of money through leaves. How much is it? 10 million through leaves.
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a title like what, honest billionaire, gillionaire or something. Now
Yeah.
that is an
Oh, like honest,
Right,
Gil-
for me-
yeah, that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, honest
like for
billionaire.
me those are achievement, right?
Because that's some fucking endurance. I mean, to have to go
Yeah.
through Palace of the Dead and go through all those floors and get the right RNG and just get the right situation. That's an endurance check. That person is dedicated as hell.
Because they've done
Yeah.
it a lot to be able to get the floor 200. They've gone through that a bunch of times, definitely.
Man,
Yeah.
I would love to know what that guy is thinking right now.
Oh.
I did 1 through 100 and I was stressed out like so much. It was the last floors. It was so stressful. It's
Yeah,
like, I couldn't imagine 100 to 200.
that would be insane.
Even
dude.
worse.
All right. Well, getting back. Let's get back here. We had our rant about Ultimate and titles and everything else, and
Yeah.
understand, guys, if you have the legend title, you might not be exactly a legend. Apparently, in Arthur's eyes.
maybe, I mean, you are a legend, honestly, to everyone else. But if you're put into similar level, you know, if you put yourself in a group with all the legends, there is still tiers, right?
Mhm.
Those I seen is no. No, not good enough. Not good enough. I mean, congratulations for the clear. I mean, some of them in my static, some of them in my op static. Congratulations on their clear. But I look at them, I played enough with them. I'm like, no. Do I want to? Hey, he's a legend. Do you want him to come and help your group if one day needed? No, get the fuck out. Do you want to raid with them because since they cleared as well? Do you want to raid with them another time? They are legends, though. No, get the fuck out. Some of them, no.
Wow.
No. No, I mean, I'm just being really honest here. No,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Like, no.
All right. So we're gonna go away from that. We're gonna go to the video now, Arthas. You know that thing? That happened. That happened again. We're gonna go and talk about that preview video.
Back to this outline.
We'll go back. We have to get off the tangent. We have to get away from it. Get off this train. Get it? Relating to what
He's
happened.
passionate about it.
Yeah. But okay, so the one thing I want to just say with this preview video is that it seemed a little bit, some stuff was obvious, but some stuff wasn't. Before they, like, I was talking to you about this a little bit, Larry, they like outlined it. They said, hey, here's Sigmascape, here's this, and here's that. This is just like, here's a whole bunch of, you know, stuff happening, and this is
Yeah.
what you're going to get. And they've been going through this whole transition in their preview videos to where it's kind of cryptic, it almost feels like. Because I saw some of those bosses, I'm like, is that a savage boss? Is that a savage boss?
Yep. Some of them were like, wait, this kind of looks like it was a 24-man boss.
Yeah.
But there's no 24-man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And then you see man, and then you like, wait a minute, what? How many bosses are there? There's so much in man.
Yeah, they're showing some like the dungeon bosses too in between them. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was really confused.
It didn't make any sense. Yeah, when we saw that one, I forget what it was, like some big guy with angel wings or something like that, and that guy was a 24-man. All right,
that
looked
looked like a 24-man
so
to me. That one.
well, maybe that's Eureka.
Wait, is it?
Well, Eureka it
Might
says
be.
like it's like 8 people. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just a group.
Wait, are there your Eureka bosses were in there?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't
Yeah,
label it.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like some people says that it looks like. Some people says that it looks like the fractal, but then you look like fractal. You're like, wait,
Chat is
fractal has
saying
8
Eureka.
man?
We got Eureka
Yeah.
footage. I didn't even know it.
I think so.
No, not sure. Not sure.
Hello?
Yeah.
I myself
Yeah,
are
that's why
not
the
sure.
trailers like that. It's cinematic, so it looks really pretty. It's definitely well put together.
Mhm.
It looks awesome. It gets you hype, but
Yeah.
it's also like, what's going on?
Yeah. So
What is this stuff?
do you like that? Do you guys care? Do you like, hey, look, I wish it was just more straightforward, or you're like, hey, this is pretty good.
Nah. I mean, trailer is up to how the developer wants to relay. It doesn't matter how it is. I mean, you shouldn't be looking too much into the trailer. Trailer is just a tidbit, like Star Wars. I mean, no spoilers. I'm sorry.
I think it's a way just to get you to. The point is to hype you,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it did. So
It did. Yeah, that's what it mattered. Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah.
I never seen such a good trailer that makes me actually sit there and say, wow, yeah, oh, no.
and also it works much better to show people that don't play the game versus our older style of trailers where it's just. I would say it would probably be pretty boring for other people who don't play the game to watch those trailers.
Mhm.
But I think even if somebody doesn't play this game and watches that trailer that we saw, just now for patch 4.2, they would get hype about it too. They would think it would look really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's good that they do it like this.
Okay, so let's keep it cryptic and just more of like a video that you're like, oh man, now this is like a preview for a movie that's coming up, but really it's an expansion of the game, right? So
Yeah.
okay, so that's good. What were we saying, Larry?
We're gonna watch the movie.
We're gonna watch the movie here on the 30th together.
Yeah.
And I think everybody kind of guessed with the ending part, Kefka, right? We're all like, oh, Kefka's gonna be in there. I saw Arthas' reaction
about it. Yeah. People were joking, oh, Kefka's gonna be in the game, and then it actually happened. Everybody's like, what?
Well, it feels weird. To be honest with you, like when you talk about Kefka, you think about one of the prime, supreme, like ultimate enemies of the Final Fantasy series. Like he's a highlight. He's the highlight. So after we get Kefka, I guess next is like Sephiroth, and then we're like
5, 6, 7.
Then we're done.
That's the thing, right?
6, 7.
If we're done with Sephiroth, what do we have left?
That's the thing, man.
All right, just tell us the thing, man.
Like, I mean, X-Dev is different. X-Dev is like it's a villain, right? I mean, when you play FF5, X-Dev is a villain, right? But he's not like a type of like a character that like somebody who is like makes you feel that it's like how do I say you right on the get-go, you don't feel like he's like a person, in the Final Fantasy.
Yes.
When you like he's a tree, right? And then he's like in this body,
armored.
but yes, but
he's not humanoid exactly.
Yes, yeah, humanoid exactly.
Yeah.
So
Kefka's
for
just a
X-Dev to be that, for X-Dev, I'm okay with that in Final Fantasy. But for a humanoid character, like we know Kefka is awesome, by the way. FF6 is awesome, by the way. I love FF6, by the way. When I see it, I'm actually really happy that the way they present, because I'm a sucker. I'm a Final Fantasy sucker, right? I play since Final Fantasy, not 2 years old. I mean, I play
2 years
Final
old.
Fantasy
It's
2.
2 years old.
Right? So for me, seeing all these 8-bit characters I used to play, I play so much Final Fantasy 6. I easily spend about 180 hours, I try. I spend hours trying to see whether General Leo can be resurrected, blah, 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 right? So for me to see FF6, 8-bit, all the mechanics that we see in Doom Train, the Chadanuk, the Kefka thingy, I'm like, wow, this is going to be awesome. But when I see Kefka, I have a mixed feeling. I'm like, a humanoid boss? What are we going to fight?
I completely understand.
Well,
it's like easier just to be like, well, this is a character from a game and he's just ripped from the game and put into this game. It just feels off. Like it's cool. It's definitely really cool and it's very hype, but it also feels weird because we don't have anything like that yet. This is the first time we have something like that.
Well, I don't think it's going to be.
It's Sephiroth too.
I'm sure what's going to happen is that it's going to be kind of like it could be like X-Death in the way that we have sort of a humanoid there, and then eventually he transitions into this crazy big monster thing that we have to fight at the very end.
Or he's like huge or something.
Right.
I can't imagine him being human sized. Like,
yeah, that would be weird, right?
It would be weird. I think he would have to be big. They're probably going to make him big. And then it'd be weird to see a big Sephiroth too. Like,
I just don't see Sephiroth as a character in this universe.
Hey!
I don't either. I didn't see Kefka either.
Exactly. No, exactly what Larry just highlighted. The moment you see Kefka, now you start to wonder because.
Yeah.
As a humanoid, the way he portrays himself as FF6, he's like always, he's just beside you always. He's always mingling there. He's always there to annoy you. He's doing weird things. But you know that although in FF6, when you play, when it's 8-bit, your characters are small, those bosses look big. But Kefka is still, like when you see Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, like Final Fantasy 7, when everything become like 3D, Sephiroth is like just like you know?
He's normal size, yeah.
But for X-Dev, you already can visualize that X-Dev is like a huge villain or a larger villain. Yeah. But Kefka and Sephiroth is just... I was looking in chat, like what did that guy? Hammerify was...
Hammerify,
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Like he was saying that, there's no way Sephiroth will be in because we'll be fighting Omega. Turn 11 for Sephiroth. Hey, listen. Imagine this situation, right? turn 12, Omega Prime is gonna fight you, right? Suddenly Sephiroth, just like what he did to Arif, slice Omega into half, and then the Arif team plays, Omega shed a tear in the eye, and then you fight Sephiroth.
It's not going to be
How about
Omega.
that?
No, it's not going to be Omega. You know who it's going to be? That damn Chocobo, Alpha. So he's going to be sitting there being cute. Look, I'm a little Chocobo. And then Sephiroth's just going to come and stab a sword through his heart. And then
Hey, it's possible, man. Right?
Yeah.
Omega will be like, I want to test you. Now it's my time. And then Sephiroth said, no, it's my turn. Dum, dum, dum. No. Omega start falling to the ground, Hey, it can happen, man. Thanks for bringing me back. My time is... Hey, you never know, man. Kefka is in, man. Now, right, Sephiroth can be in, man. Now the possibility is unlimited,
Well, I mean, I guess I'm fine with them being in there. I just don't like them being in there because in my whole experience with Final Fantasy, these are the bosses. After we pass this, it's like going downhill. For example, when I played WoW, after Lich King, nothing felt like important. Like everything was like, this is kind of...
That's kind of how the raids feel to me. Like, we have Bahamut, so Alexander's just like, okay, I'm just doing this because it's a raid, but it doesn't feel like Bahamut does, or even Omega.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, if Omega's getting Sephiroth and Kefka, I mean,
yeah, I guess so. That makes some sense. It's just I'm feeling bad because I'm hoping that like we have something super epic that comes after this that I just don't envision right now because this is the last stuff that I can envision as an outsider.
It's got to be like multitudes higher than Kefka because like that's how all of them are. Mm-hmm. The second tier raids is like it's cool like Coil, like we had Nail, that was really cool, but then you had Bahamut, and then same with Alexander, you had who was it? Brute Justice is 2, yeah, Brute Justice, and then Alexander. So we have Kefka.
Yeah.
Who's tired?
Yeah. Because the thing about Final Fantasy is
Omega.
There's always favorite.
Yeah.
There's something favorite. Like for Bahamut and your Alexander, you know that is the end game. When you get there, that that thing is the end. Now for Omega, I mean, I understand that the possibility is one of the the team for this, the unknown possibility. I get it, but if you were to bring in a previous Final Fantasy boss in, you risk the possibility that the next raid here might not live up. Definitely might not live up. Like every Kefka is iconic. Right? X-Dev, maybe a lot of... I mean, back then, Final Fantasy V, there was only JP release when I was young and played. There was never an NA release. Eventually, after the port, the NA release comes in. But how many people actually play it? People who doesn't know it, fine. You see X-Dev. But a lot of people know Kefka more than X-Dev, for sure.
I mean, I guess there is the point that Kefka could get away or something, and he breaks away from Omega's hold, and he goes into the world and hiding, and we have to find him again later. But that would feel kind of weird. But I guess, like... It could happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I definitely do not know what's going to happen in the last tier. 100%.
But Arthars, you don't think we'll fight Omega last? Or
I mean, it should be Omega.
It should be Omega. Yeah. It has to be, right? I mean, that's the team.
What if the raid tier isn't 3 tiers?
Because
possible. Possible.
I know. I don't think so either. But they did say that we'll have possibly more patches than we have before.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they do one more patch, then it'd be another raid patch at the very end.
Yeah. Would we get another? I don't.
But that means our expansion is delayed. But I mean, it's interesting because it remind me again, the last 2 Fan Fest, right? The NA one, which is usually the first one, it was always in October or something, right? I don't remember actually.
Yeah, it was in October, and then they pushed it 1 month. Now it's in November.
No, not this one. I mean the previous 2.
Yeah, the previous 2 were in October. Yeah.
They were
but this time it's in November, right?
Yeah, so
if you think about it, if everything is to push 1 month later, does this mean that 5.0 might be later? And if 5.2 is I mean, all these are just big ifs. If 5.0 is also later, does this mean like, Yoshida was like Larry covered. Yoshida said that there's a chance that we might get 4.6, 4.7, and not just 4.5. Does this mean that we might, Storm's Blood might be longer? I mean, I don't mind as long as there's content. I don't mind, even though say 4.7 comes in, there's another rating. I think it's very highly unlikely though, given the pattern that they have done. But There's always a
4.7 seems weird, but I think they said they were looking at a 4.6 almost definitely. Yeah.
because there's always a big gap before expansion. So I honestly wouldn't mind a 4.6, 4.7. Now, if a additional rate tier would come in, you bring in Sephiroth, I don't care. At least there's something to do. But
we'll see how it works.
Definitely weird. Definitely weird. You have Kefka in tier 2. Omega has to be tier 3. What is going to be in between? Are the next tier going to all be Omega, Final Fantasy 14 special, or like, I mean, I totally agree. You cannot just bring another Final Fantasy boss as a turn 3. It's definitely weird now. Like,
well, I don't know too much about Omega lore. What game is he from?
5. I mean, he's from every, but the current team is 5.
Oh, it's Omega and X-Death, right? Aren't they like...
Omega and Shinryu.
Omega Shinryu.
Omega and Shinryu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this current team is 5.
So
that's why the Chocobo,
The other things that they're implementing here in this raid tier, besides Kefka, which is the highlight, is we know there's at least a train that we're fighting, right? And so they've been asking for Doom Train forever. Everybody's been asking for it. So
that Doom Train blew my mind. Okay, carry on. We'll talk about it, right? We have to talk about it, man.
We have to. No, it's so it's called the Phantom Train or whatever, and we're gonna be dealing with that as like the first boss. That kind of hurts me a little bit inside because it means it's gonna be an easy boss that we just kind of blast through.
Yeah, it'll be easier. Well, I think it is going to be easier, of course, compared to the other 3, but usually the tier 2 of the raids are historically they've been the hardest of the 3, or like pretty difficult. Because wasn't like second coil is probably the hardest of the coils. Alexander, I didn't raid all of them, but I think Alexander tier 2 was one of the hardest ones, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So this is probably going to be the hardest tier, maybe.
He's already said it's going to be an easy tier. I mean,
Really?
I don't. Yeah, he said it's going to be not more. It's going to be pretty much the same difficulty as Delta. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not true. I think he did say that like the beginning fight will be a little bit more difficult, but I mean, we won't know until we get there.
I liked Delta's difficulty. I think it was good for like the wide player base. So
yes,
I'm fine with it.
It is.
Yeah. It is, but we were hoping for like a ramp up because I mean, right now they have to make it more difficult than the last tier if they want it to not be cleared as quickly. Because the first tier we're dealing with so many other things like learning new jobs and mechanics and everything. But this tier we don't have anything to learn. We just go in there.
We also have ultimate that fully hone a lot of the player skills as well, especially the wolf.
Jesus Christ.
When you talk about speed.
Yeah.
When you talk about the speed, you have to always, take the world first into consideration because that's the consensus, right? That's where everybody will look at. Like, if Yoshida, I mean, he did say during New Year when he was doing his strolling around servers, he did say that he feel that it will be the same as the Delta scheme. Now, what do you mean by as the same? Do you mean by mechanically HP, or the difficulty in general? If it's the same, then it's not going to be the same because if Deltascape takes 18 hours to clear, Sigmascape, if the difficulty is the same, it's gonna take less than 18 hours because player base are better now. People know synergy better now, better at the job, better at the game.
The
with Ultimate especially. With Ultimate especially. So if you say that it's the same difficulty, it's not gonna be the same difficulty. It's gonna be easier, right? Now, if you say the same difficulty, I think it will be clear.
Relatively, I mean, if he's talking relatively, then maybe.
If Sigmascape were to last same 18 hours as Deltascape, I personally would say it's a success because that actually, like what I just said earlier, it basically means that it's actually technically harder than Deltascape with how good players have become. I was for world first, right? If it's still 18 hours, I say it's a success because for everybody else, obviously who are not caught up, say with Ultimate or haven't been catching up with the game, just clearing once, twice, take a break, coming back, you should see a harder difficulty. Because let's be honest, what is going to be worse than Deltascape? Man, I say that during Creator and somehow Square Enix come up with Deltascape, so this time I'm not going to jinx it. But
I think we'll see the idea is that we'll see a difficulty between Creator and between A8. That's exactly probably the sweet point for this patch, and they should end off on something similar to A8. But I don't know if they will. but I mean that's what we're all looking for, especially with the community right now. I would say they're better than they were when they were trying for A8 and
Way
Creator.
better.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
kind of need that kind of difficulty to be at least interesting.
Yeah. As long as it's interesting, I'm
Yeah.
good with that. We have
Oh.
Ultimate for the really hard stuff, so
Yeah. For
Yeah.
me, like Larry said, for a lot of us, Ultimate now is the end game. That's what we're looking forward to already.
Yeah.
Savage, to be really honest right now, personally for me, Savage is whatever already. I mean, there is 20 weeks before Ultimate. Definitely I will get my best in slot for 2-3 jobs going into Ultimate. So
On 2 or 3 different
That's
accounts.
maybe. Right. But Ultimate is the one everybody, most end game people are
Yeah.
actually looking for.
like,
Don't get me wrong though.
For the people that do Ultimate, that's what they care about versus
Yeah.
the raid. It's there to be fun and for
Mm.
time,
Yeah.
as long as it's a good difficulty, like
Yeah.
generally.
We'll see how it
Don't
works.
get me
though.
wrong though. Don't get me wrong though. I still think that I mean, let's just say Savage is a sprint in terms of war prog. It should still be respected. You should still
Yeah.
Respect
No.
the content.
yeah. You should still respect the content and it's still going to be a good race. Like some people like marathon ultimate. Some people like sprint. Let's not say that. Oh, who cares about Savage? Like when I say that, I don't really mean that. I don't give a shit anymore. It's just that that's not the pinnacle now already, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
but I'm still interested in Savage, obviously, and to see the 6th team coming back, to see Doom Train, Phantom Train coming back, to see some of the things that I did when I was younger in 8 bits now coming into this the current
Yeah,
2000.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
definitely really cool.
I'm looking forward to that. Like Doom Train, hello.
Doom Train. Yeah.
You're wondering how we beat it, but it's because it was 8-bit. It doesn't need to make sense. Just stand in the railing. The rail is moving. You
Well, the
somehow
railing
fight
was
it.
going to be off too, so you could fall off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
any
you
fight
just-
that you could fall off, it's automatically. Well, hold on, I'm lying.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm lying because it's harder. It's not harder because the first fight in Omega you could fall off, and that wasn't exactly a hard fight. So
I mean, the first fight in Omega
Yeah.
did lamb memes though. That's okay.
yeah, I
Lamb
mean,
memes.
visually it's gonna be really cool. Doom Train, it's gonna be really cool. So even if it's on the easier side, I think it's still gonna be. Really
I had
cool.
such high hopes for like 01S, to be honest with you. Like I thought that we were going to have like ice skating as like a huge crazy mechanic, but it was just like
I thought
it's
so
sort of
too.
there.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought the ice skating thing was gonna be much bigger.
Yeah, it was kind of
Like
sad.
3 positions you would have to do or something versus just like go out in, or
Mhm.
just go here back.
Yeah,
More than that.
it was like there's two
Yeah.
situations. All right, hold on. I gotta turn on the link ban stuff. I just did it, I think, so it should be good.
Okay.
We got the wonderful people coming in and posting random links to whatever.
Oh yeah,
You've seen that, right? They come in and say, "Look at this
course.
grill. Look at this grill."
yeah.
It's so
Don't click that
stupid.
link, please.
Yeah, don't do it, guys.
Don't do that.
But well, the second boss, like, I don't know if it's a boss, but it looks like it's the boss. I don't know what else it could be. It's the painting, right? They did a little bit of a showcase for
I
it.
think that is the second because he went in there.
Yeah. And there was a different mechanic where you had a little button you had to press. That's typical of like the second fight. They do something kind of weird with it. And so this one we have to paint the floor. And,
Yeah.
I don't. Can you even imagine how that fight's going to turn out? Like we paint one of the paintings and then we have to fight that boss and then
I have no clue.
I mean, depends whether you play FF6 like
I
Realm.
did it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's something like. I mean, that boss is basically back in FF6 is themed around Realm, that little girl that extremely talented in painting. So
Mhm.
it's something like that. I mean, in the fight, it's something like you have to paint accordingly to counter the boss. So now you look at that, it's the boss, and there were those paintings.
Mhm.
So maybe there's a mechanic that you have to paint correctly to
you think-
counter something like
Do you
that.
think,
The
like
mechanic,
ads come out of the paintings or something, and like if you don't,
possible.
like,
or maybe
you
it
paint over the
it does
paintings
like
or-
a mechanic in the fight. For example, you had what's that? Fungo? What Fung something? Ultros and what's his name?
Ultros and Typhoon.
Typhoon. Oh, for some reason I was thinking Fung something. I don't know. Maybe that's his move. His move, I think. I don't know, but he blows air, right?
Right.
Typhoon. And so maybe if you paint that, it blows air and it does something.
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that. That's what FF6. That's how it was during FF6.
But it looks interesting, but
Oh, it is. It is interesting. It's one of the most annoying boss in FF6. It's one of the most annoying bosses in FF6. The status elements that she does when you hit her when she's in the goddess form, you hit her wrongly, she will just sleep everybody. And then if you don't use certain magic, but that was FF6 mechanic though. So in FF14, obviously we're gonna expect everything to be different. But good to see all these stuffs coming in. Makes you wonder, right?
Yeah. So when we're looking at like the third boss, do you guys know what the third boss? Because I saw a whole bunch of bosses in there. I'm like, well, is it Titan? Because Titan's there. It looked like Titan was like one of the bosses in the clip. I just don't know what it was for. Like I can go back to the video and scan over it and see.
There's a few possibility for turn 3. Like we've seen the Guardian, one of the Magitech technology that was used in the Imperial by Kefka. The Guardian, they show all those panels with outros and whatever it is, right? You saw those panels and then you saw that big Magitech. That's Guardian. Now there is. If you look at the video, there is something that looked like Atma weapon / Ultima weapon in the NA version. At the floating continent, right? When you were confronting Kefka, you have to fight the Atma weapon / Ultima weapon, right? But people are speculating that it might be fractal hard mode. It might not. Yeah. But dude, I don't know, man. If you bring Kefka in, right, for Ultimate, for Savage, obviously Kefka is Savage. I don't think Kefka is Fractal, obviously. Now, if you bring Kefka in, you would have teamed the Phantom Train as the first boss. You would have teamed Chada Nook as the second boss. And then you have Kefka as the fourth boss. The third boss has to be something that
relates.
Close relate to Kefka. Now, in FF6, the only two things can relate that is like the next thing that is, before Kefka, you would think of is the Warring Triad and Emma weapon. Now, Warring Triad is already a Trials already. I mean, we're not going to bring that back already, right? So, Emma weapon would be a fitting third boss. Now, if Emma weapon is fractal,
now that you say that, I mean, now that you're saying, like, it just popped in my head. I mean, the next Ultimate could easily beat a Warring Triad and Kefka.
Oh, it can be.
That would be really cool.
It can be. That is what we want to see. Like,
but would they do it in a row? They would be doing it in a row. We just saw Kefka and then Ultimate is Kefka.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. Yeah. For Ultimate, there's no rules. Like Primal, it can be Titan Garuda, and then you fight all the Primal, and then Ultima weapon comes in. All these are really nice. That
would be cool.
Together, Okay. So Warring Triad can also be like, now we see Kefka, Warring Triad, and then Kefka is definitely a future possibility now.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Arthars. I just hit
That's
me, but you can go ahead and keep going.
Yeah. So the third boss, I mean, Guardian can be fitting as a third boss, but I don't know, man. If you let me choose between Guardian and Emma weapon, I would say Emma weapon is definitely good to be a better third boss. Fractal though.
Okay, so I'm looking at this video, and it looks like maybe 8 people fighting the 4-winged thing. Is that the Guardian you're talking about? Or is that something else?
I think that's Eureka.
You think that? Well, I don't... It looks like only maybe 8 people are in there fighting that thing. I don't see 24. So I'm wondering if possibly...
No, Eureka can be 24. No, Eureka can be 8.
Right.
Eureka can even be soloed. That's what he said. He's going to be like, if you want to do things faster, you want to complete more objective, you can go in, you can do solo, although your relic progression might be slower, or you can do it in a party. So I'm not sure whether you can do it in 24-man. I assume that the big area you can still tackle things in 24-man, but not necessarily Eureka needs to be 24-man. It can be 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any zones that were like, hey, this is Eureka in the...
Yeah, they weren't showing the area of Eureka, but people were talking about, they showed one of the enemies and they said that was from Eureka. So I think that one was it. or the winged one that's not Guardian, right? That you're talking about, Arthur?
No.
No. Guardian is
That's
the
not
mega
Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really crazy. I'm
It's
like,
hard to tell.
yeah, it's really hard to tell a lot of this stuff. And I'm seeing like they're doing the robot guy. Is that the
That
Guardian?
might be like the robot guy with that one long nose.
Yeah, with the
What's the
flamethrower.
other one?
yes,
What's the other
that's
one?
Guardian. What do you mean?
The other
yeah?
one that you were talking about.
There's all right. So
the
I'm looking.
MR weapon. Okay, it's a top-down zoom in, and then you see 4 puddles and you see 4 holy. That's definitely has to be MR weapon, right? Flare and
Okay.
holy. No, it's the team of MR weapon, right? But that people is saying that you see zone lines, etc., etc. So I mean, maybe the story we might have. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, yeah,
It's so hard to tell. So this is what we were talking about with the trailer format. It's like because of that, it's hard to tell.
Well, there was one part in that trailer where they're like going through the cutscenes or they're going through whatever, and then they show just images of like the 8 or 32-bit like bosses, like Ultros and other stuff, just flashing on the screens. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to relate that to the raid. Are they just is that just part of the story where they're like, oh, well, these are all the things we could do, and then we end up on like one, and we're like, all right, well, that's the boss. I don't know. It's we'll see. Apparently, in 2 weeks, right?
We'll see.
yeah.
We'll
Turn
see.
3 is definitely a mystery. Turn 3 is definitely a mystery at the moment.
Some people seem set that it's Guardian, but I mean, I don't know what else it could be. Maybe that because these things
I'm a
could be like
weapon-
intro bosses too. Like they could be the ads before the boss if they want to keep going in that direction because they've done that before.
Yeah. But
And if
then,
you look,
but then the first Omega, that's why no more traveling to boss. That's why I was
well,
about to say.
no.
Can be possible.
On the preview for Doom Train, you're fighting Doom Train, and then at some point you're running on top of the train. So
Oh, yeah,
there's some sort of like transition.
Yeah.
And then you
I
go
wanted to talk about that
into
earlier, so I forgot.
then you go into it, and it seems like you go into that area with all the paintings, and that's like the next portion. Like it seems like there's a transition there. So I don't know if this is like you're running from one, and you go into the other one, and then it goes into.
It might
know.
be a gauntlet fight. Turn 1 might be a gauntlet fight. You know, I mean, a gauntlet fight with Doom Train. Obviously, as you see in the trailer,
Maybe
completely
Doom Train is
targetable.
Faust.
Yeah.
Maybe
Might
she's
be
Faust.
like- that's why I'm so excited about the Doom Train, right? Like
Well,
Doom Train is the
Phantom
boss
Train,
of it.
Phantom Train, not
Phantom Train. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phantom Train. So I was so excited. Like we fight Phantom Train, and then we run on top. We seen on the trailer. We run on top, and then we fight in the cabins. Like it looks like
What are you
it
going to
can
fight
be.
in the cabin?
It's the painting lady. They have just a giant cabin room that's completely not proportioned to like a train car, as like the area we go
It's
into.
bigger on the inside.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter in the tents, right?
Yeah.
So
Just like Harry Potter. We're doing Harry Potter.
why not? That's so crazy, and there's not really much to talk about with Kefka except for hey, Kefka's there.
Kefka's there. Yeah.
We got no video of it.
we know what we're gonna see in Kefka, obviously. So
Yeah.
can't be. I mean, in XDev and new XDev, we all know already, right? It has to be like that, right? Kefka also has to be the same way you would expect.
I just know I'm going to be fighting a
Random.
clown. Scary clown.
Kind of.
Creepy
With that
clown
laugh,
guy.
you know, with that
laugh.
8-bit.
And we're gonna have
Maybe
really
laugh.
good Dancing Mad music,
Yeah.
which is my
yes.
favorite song within the entire Final Fantasy series.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Dancing Mad. It's literally my favorite. So I'm excited to see what it is. I mean, music's always been super great in this game.
Yeah.
So there's nothing. It's just here's a present. It's not like I'm expecting anything to be ruined. I have no expectations. If there's something wrong with it, it's really stupid and just half-assed thrown together. Then sure, but that's impossible.
They don't half-ass anything.
They're not gonna half-ass it. It'll be music-wise for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, just looking at the trailer already sell me to doing Savage already. That doesn't need to be hard content. Doesn't need to be super awesome.
It's going to be
Minus
fun.
difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that it's gonna be fun already. No, imagine Doom Train, the Phantom Train. Dude, I cannot reiterate how Phantom you can bring Phantom Train now in as a boss. You bring in Phantom Train in as a boss. The potential is just unlimited. You know, we were making so much joke when 6 was relevant, even till today. You get Sabin to suplex the train, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? You do damage, suplex. Back then you were like, oh, nice. Now you think about it when you're older, you're like, what the fuck? How do you Now, I look at FF. Now Doom Train is in. I would give everything. I would chip in a few dollars to Square Enix. And
Everything turns into a few dollars. I would give Wait, I'll chip in a few dollars.
You are giving it a few dollars. You do give them a few dollars.
Yeah, you do. Every month you give them a few dollars, Arthars.
Yo, I would pay more, right? If they can make this happen. Imagine somewhere while fighting Phantom Train, there's an active time maneuver where everybody combine their power, press whatever shit you need to, right? And then when you succeed, everybody will combine their power and suplex the train. I don't know how. I don't care how. Like, if you can bring Phantom Train in, you bring in the fun elements in, Square Enix throw in a little bit of fun memes
So you think
there. Let us suplex it. Done. Best rate ever, right?
So you think they're gonna do it? They're gonna do a throwback to that. They're gonna.
I don't know whether they
That
get the
would be really
reference. I don't know whether they get the memes, but if they can make us somehow suplex that train, my dream kind of come true,
Is that like a big? I don't know if that's a big thing in Japan where people say that a lot.
It is a big thing because
Really?
everybody find it hilarious. Sabin suplexing the train. It's so hilarious. Like when we saw the train, all of us like, holy shit, are we gonna suplex it? That's the first thing that
it
comes
was
to
a whole
everybody.
meme picture too, like girls like
Yes.
suplexing people.
Oh,
It was like a
man.
meme that they do like all the time.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, it'd be nice if they could somehow make that. I think what's going to happen, I don't know if they could do an active time maneuver. That would be amazing. But what they might do is just at the end, after you beat it, like Ida comes out and suplexes it or something. They'll just throw something in there like that to appease you.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That would be fun. Like,
And then Sephiroth comes down and stabs the dude.
oh no.
That's the new meme, is it? We just talk about how Sephiroth's going to enter into this tier. We'll find different ways for it. Okay. So past Savage, past all that, we still have a Primal coming out. That looks a lot more anime crazy than I thought it was going to look. Where his entire arm is a lion, and he's a regular person with part lion, and it's like a snake thing.
Yeah.
It's a tiger, by the way. It's not a lion.
Or a tiger. I'm sorry, tiger.
Everybody in chat was calling him Tiger Daddy.
Tiger.
Tiger Daddy.
So what's the deal, man? Like, it looks way more interesting than I thought it was going to look like. I thought it was just going to be like, here's a tiger you're going to fight, and it's going to get big and go crazy. But this is like super anime crazy suplex.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
thought we were gonna fight a tiger, but it's a big, cool, freaking awesome guy with a
Like,
tiger.
it looks like it's something from Resident Evil, like kind of like split into this game somehow. Some kind of weird, like, because you think Resident Evil monsters, they're all just crazy mutated things, and this is like a mutated tiger person. I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, I can go back to the trailer.
It's a little bit like a mythology thing in the East. I'm not sure whether it originated from China or something. Like the 4 gods are these 4 animals, right? I mean, these 4 animals.
But this isn't an animal.
No. But they are deities. So depends on. I mean, there's so much reference to them, right? Some they are just sacred beasts, right? But in some references, they are actually deity. They have their deity forms, right? They can take on the shape of how do I say like cartoons, like anime.
Animorphs.
Yeah, he's pretty anime. I would say he's pretty anime.
I was actually surprised as well. Like, are we just gonna see these 4? This peacock, this tiger, this turtle, or this dragon, right? This little dragon, right? The one of the 4. So I was like, for me, what I thought was the opposite. I'm like, it can't be a tiger. Like, how are you just gonna get a skin of a tiger and we're gonna fight a tiger? That's so anticlimactic.
Yeah,
so for me personally,
like
when I see that guy, I'm like,
it's gonna be him. Yeah.
yeah. For me, it's actually the opposite. I actually I mean, we all know this mythology. You play Final Fantasy 11.
Are
or
you
play
saying
other-
you keep saying origin, right? And it sounds like orgy every single time you say it, Arthas. I
Oh,
can't
no.
get past it.
What?
I'm trying to get
Oh,
past it, but I just want to
no.
let you know that's what I'm hearing every time you say
Oh
it.
my God, Frosty, please.
Oh, jeez. So
So I'm okay. I'm okay. I
I
see.
need an
I see,
adult.
I see the form. Like I'm actually okay. It's original. It's original.
original, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Original.
yeah.
But he does look like an orgy of random things happening that was put together.
You're right. You're right. But
His
I don't
arm
know.
is definitely weird though. That tiger arm is definitely weird though. Like I wouldn't mind he has two arms and then a tiger head somehow. I don't
What if
mind.
he had two
but-
tiger arms? Two tiger
Nah,
arms.
like the neck it doesn't look right, man. Like
What is it like?
What if he just had regular arms, but his fist turned into a tiger?
How long do you
that's-
think it's going to take until like someone starts putting this on Twitter like as a Rule 32 or 34 thing or whatever
You
you
need
call
to
it?
stop. You need to stop.
I bet this is going to happen so quick. Like maybe tomorrow we're going to see it posted all over Twitter.
What if he's a Megazord? What? There's so many possibilities.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing. Like, I'm looking at this video again, and there's just weird, like, there's so much stuff happening. There's little red orbs that pop up everywhere. You got people falling. Like, there's a point where you fall to the ground. Your entire team's just falling, and they smash and hit the ground, and you go to the next phase or whatever.
He looks like he just freaking like punches you and uppercuts you and just wrecks you. Like there's like a huge crazy AoE that he does. It looks really cool. I
Yeah.
don't even know.
But might be the ultimate and then transition. Like we don't even know
Yeah.
what is phase 2, right? Phase 2 might be something even more crazier, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
We don't
true.
even know what is phase 2. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed us the beginning of phase 2. So basically, you all fall down, hit the ground, then this big supernova explosion thing happens, and then it cuts off. So there could be.
I honestly was expecting a tiger first phase, just a tiger, and then second phase, that guy
Then
comes
that form?
for that guy to begin. Now I'm actually thinking, what can be in phase 2, you know?
Yeah.
Do
I
you
like
guys-
that they didn't show phase 2.
Yeah.
Because usually
they
they
don't-
show it. And I like that they didn't.
Oh, like
Like
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth, yeah, like
Sephiroth
Sephiroth,
did,
like they
right?
showed that he'd turn huge.
Mhm.
I like that they didn't show phase 2 here. It's a
Yeah.
surprise.
They
now.
show us the falling, you know? What's
Yeah.
Unless
the
if there's
middle?
just nothing interesting there, and they were like, let's just not put it in there. It's like,
Yeah, maybe
Well,
not.
that's
Maybe
just-
it's the
now I'm
same.
sad. Well, I'm still happy because when they first showed Byaku and it was just a tiger, I was just like, okay, we're gonna fight a tiger, but now he's way cooler.
Yeah, he's 10
So-
times
way
more
cooler.
interesting than what I thought he was. Like when I first
Yeah.
saw the picture, I was like, "Yay, tiger!"
It's a primal, yay, extreme
new
primal.
fight. What else is there for me to look at? And now it's like,
Okay.
well, all right, let's do it. Let's get in there.
Oh, and difficulty that they were talking about.
Yeah, the difficulty is going to be past the starting primals, but they said they couldn't compare it to Shinryu because apparently Shinryu has a lot of mechanics that are, unique, and it's hard to compare.
I think it's okay if it's a little easier than Shinryu.
Yeah, Shinryu. I mean, honestly, that's kind of the difficulty I would want, but there's a lot of people who constantly struggle with that fight
Yeah.
every day. It's not super
The first
farmable.
I have difficulty
Plus it's-
farming it. I've been farming Shinryu and I have difficult parties just always die. I've had very
The starting phase is the starting phase is good. The starting phase is good. The starting phase is pretty well designed because starting phase you have to look at everything. You have to look around the arena. You have to look at everything. You have to look from behind. You have to look at the sides. Now Yoshida was saying about the difficulty. He's like he can't compare because Shinryu is based on those mechanic. But I mean, obviously, Bayako is gonna have his own mechanic. So
right.
I don't know. And also Shinryu, the second phase is really, I mean, after the first phase is pretty anticlimactic. I mean, riding the tail is probably the climax, but the ads phase and the last phase is like, in terms of mechanic, is not enough, right?
Yeah, once you got to
Compared
the last
what
phase, you were like, okay, we're good, we got this.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
If
So
you're
for
like a
Bayako,
pub,
what is it gonna
Party
be?
Finder? Yeah, like if you go on a Party Finder farm group, and if you're able to get to the last phase, you're like, okay, yeah, this group's got it. Like we could do this.
yeah.
But, yeah.
Hopefully, there's not any weird skip mechanics in here. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I don't like that. I really don't like when there's skip mechanics
Like
like
major mechanics, like, hey, this is a big
Yeah.
part of the fight.
And
If you
skip it.
hit it hard enough, then you're okay. I
don't like that things do that. So
Yeah.
I think they start to rule a lot of that stuff out, especially with Savage. Like you saw that, like you can't really bypass most of the mechanics, and it kind of sucks the way they did it for 04S because they just repeated the fight. There's no way you're gonna you just do the same mechanics like after the first half. The hardest part's right there, and you just redo the fight. That kind of sucked, but I mean that was one way for it to get away from that. I guess I don't know.
it's a trade-off, I guess.
Yeah.
So you don't have the skipping, but yeah.
But within most of the fights in Omega, they don't have any kind of, hey, do enough DPS so you get past this point.
Right.
I don't think there's
They
any.
don't. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah. So we probably
They loop fast. They definitely loop the fight faster or bring back the mechanic. Although it's different sequence, but
yeah.
they make it a way that you have seen all the mechanics.
Right. Yeah, like if you're, it's good for learning it because like you see the whole fight up to a certain point, you're like, okay, we know all the mechanics now. We could do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So
they have like a section at the very end of most of the fights that say, hey, you're basically going to do the same things you've already done. Just you have to do it within this time limit, and if you can't finish it before this time limit, you lose. And so you're not really skipping anything that's a super big challenge. For example, like A7S, if you could skip that like jail phase at the end of A7S, you good. But like if you couldn't, then you're dealing with one of the hardest parts of the fight.
Right.
Same thing with A12. God, that made me so mad because DPS was so important. Because if you got to the point to where you had to deal with all the puddles and everything else,
that is so anticlimactic, to be honest. I mean, I'm really when I see those NA groups even totally skipping the first puddle, I thought that was amazing. Like, good job, man! Holy shit! But you think it from a design point of view, that is so sad, man. That is supposed to be the hardest phase. Like
what I thought was a really good way of doing this kind of thing was turn 11, right? Yeah, Phoenix, turn 11 with the Benus. If you had a certain amount of DPS, you can have less Benus, and so that phase was slightly easier, but you still had to know how to do the whole phase.
Yeah. No,
so
that's right.
You're not skipping anything, but you made the phase a little more manageable.
Well, I mean, you hit this limit where you're like, you can only have this many venues, and like if you go past this point, you're kind of like making it too hard. So we hit this middle ground. We're like, hey guys, at least try to make it within these two venues right here. If you have this many more, you can still do it. It's just gonna be hard. I think it was like 4 and 5, right? If you have 4,
5 you can do it, but you wanted 4.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I guess that was pretty good because it wasn't like you lose the fight because you got 5. It was just like you guys be on your toes because this is gonna be harder.
Yeah, because it'll be like way more healing because you had 2 more Benus to worry about. Basically, you had the small one and then another big one, and then you had the big AOE's going off that you had to worry about. So it's not like it was a cool way to do the DPS check because you didn't skip anything, but you made that phase change a little bit.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, we'll I guess it depends on how they. I think they're getting their stuff kind of ducks in a row, just hopefully not exactly like they did any of these fights that are coming up, not exactly like they did 04S, because I don't know if I liked just a complete carbon copy of the last one phase, just a flip. So, all right, so to go past some of these fights, to still talk about some of the PvE stuff, there's mentions of changes they're doing. They didn't say exactly what they're doing, but they're saying, hey, here's the idea. And when the first part, they talked a little bit about tanks. This kind of, this is personal to me. Yeah. All right, this affects me. I don't know if you guys remember my days of doing A12S as a paladin.
Yes, I remember. You're like, I'm being paladin.
I'm a paladin. Well, my group didn't fight me. They were just like, dude, whatever. We can clear it. It's not going to change anything. So I had a good environment to do it in.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, I get all the comments, oh, you held your group back because of this. And I'm like, did I really hold my group back? No, I don't think so. I think we did fine.
People overreact with that.
I looked at every single clear, and there was maybe one, or every single attempt at the clear, and there's maybe one that might have been a little bit different if I didn't play Paladin, but I don't know. Now, Paladin became like God. Everybody wants to play.
Paladin is amazing. Yeah. Yay, Frosty.
What? Yay. And then they're like, let's put you back down a little bit. And so they're going to reduce the DPS on Paladin. Yeah. They're going to increase the DPS of Warrior and Dark Knight. And they're going to give Dark Knight more utility, which I don't know. Or usability is what they said, right?
Yeah, usability, yeah.
I don't know what that means. If that means they're going to get more, like, more reasons to be in the raid, or if it means that they're just going to be easier to mechanically to use. Because it was kind of...
I don't know. What if they're just going to homogenize them where, like, Dark Knight just gets, like, some kind of AoE buff for everybody? And...
Yeah. That's, like, the worst possible thing they could do. I think having the jobs have somewhat of a unique feel to each one of them is important.
Yeah, it is.
Because why? Hey, what tank should you play? Well, they're all the same. Just play one of them. You know. And
I think that's the idea.
Did they need to buff War and nerf Paladin? I don't think they needed to do that at all.
No, I don't. I think they're trying.
I think they just needed to buff Dark.
Yeah, that's probably
all they had to do.
Because Warrior's in a great spot.
They just want to make all the jobs playable. I don't think they necessarily think about the full balance of how to fully, balance all the job to the point that the world first player will be thinking like, okay, we bring any, it will all work. I don't think that's what they are thinking about. I mean, I will talk about why I feel this way when we talk about, say, the black mage changes and whatnot. But for in general, right, not just for Dark Knight, I think that when they balance stuff, it's not about whether they are bad or not. It's never about this is too good over the other. I mean, you can say in a way, obviously, one is too much better than the other. That's why they have to nerf or buff the other. But I think their general idea is, hey, let's bring this job. I mean, we look at the table, Warrior usability 45%, Paladin 45%. Dark Knight 10%. Can we even it out, make it 33 or something? That's what they are thinking about. That's all they are thinking about. It's not about this job should be performed in a raid group in certain fight as good as this job. I don't think that's what they are looking at. They just want to make sure that all jobs are played equally. Now,
but Dark Knight cleared the first ultimate fight. It's like now the first. Come on.
Now that is the problem.
Needs help. It needed help.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. I want to drive a little bit for Samurai. Come on, Samurai needs something. I'm not saying that Samurai is bad. You can still clear content with Samurai. You can clear ultimate with Samurai. You can clear Savage with Samurai. You can do that. But Samurai is lacking something. Now, for Square Enix,
surprised that they didn't, when they said there were no changes for Samurai. I was like, what?
Exactly. Hello? Right. That's why it goes back to what I think. They don't really care about whether the job is useful in a raid setup or not. They just look at the number and say, I mean, it's a new expansion, it's a new job, it's Samurai. Obviously, a lot of DPS, if not all DPS at some point played Samurai, right? And they look at the number and say, wow, there's so many people playing Samurai. Samurai must be fine, right? It's not.
So you think
don't know anything about it?
Because of the aesthetics.
You think they're like just completely ignoring what all the player base is saying? They're not looking at forums. They're not looking at message boards or anything else. They're not just. They're just
look at Black.
They do.
Here's my numbers, and then here we go. No, I don't think they. I don't.
They don't. No. You look at Black Mage changes. Now let's talk a little bit about Black Mage. You look at Black Mage.
Okay. Black Mage. Let's do it.
Extending the proc time. Are you fucking kidding me? The moment that thing appear, it doesn't matter where I'm moving or I'm stuck or I'm stunned. I'm pressing the fire starter fire tree. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna save it for moving. Now, some people play like that.
The proc time does not do anything. It does nothing.
Exactly.
Giving us more time on a proc does nothing. If you get it, you're gonna
press it.
Use it.
Same for Thundercloud. When your Thunder proc, you're gonna press it. I'm not gonna be now I have a proc Thunder. Maybe I will use this 15, 10, 20, or maybe never happen because the mechanic might not target me, and then I will press it. No, the Thundercloud procs, you pressed it, right? Yeah. Now they say that they will buff Firefall. Now, will Firefall potency be good enough to make you cast Firefall over that fire starter fire tree? Now that is a possibility. Now
you need the fire 3. You
still,
need
right?
that.
You still need.
But the Thundercloud is the question. If you use the Thundercloud.
So you think about all these
maybe
adjustments.
now I won't use the Thundercloud.
I know, right? So you think of all these adjustments, you ask yourself, does Square Enix actually know what the fuck they're doing? Do you know that the problem with Black Mage is that now Summoner and Red Mage, not just talking about DPS, not talking about potency, right? Your content is so easy. Even your ultimate, I'm not saying ultimate is easy, even your ultimate DPS check is not really there. As long as you don't die, you will meet DPS check. It doesn't matter what job you bring in. But the fact that Summoner and Red Mage, or your Dragoon and your Ninja, the fact what they bring to the table is what people prefer to play them. Not because they are less potent. For Square Enix to do the changes for Black Mage tells you that they have no idea what is needed.
So
do you really think that buffing potency? Let me finish.
Okay. No. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Do you really think that buffing potency and just make you do that teleport skill every 10 seconds? Do you think that makes people prefer them? It's the race. It's the race. I mean, they have Adder.
What does the teleport buff do?
Just make you move. That's why they don't get it. The most important thing is race.
Okay, so here's the thing. Do you think that they're maybe making these changes to satisfy the casual player base and not the meta player base? Like they're saying, hey, look, we have some friends that play this game. They're not hardcore raiders, but they've said these things to us, and we kind of hear this around the casual players, people who are just starting up and everything else. And so let's satisfy these guys. They're not thinking, hey, these are the hardcore number crunching meta players. Let's satisfy what they're doing and balance it out, because they are pushing the numbers. They're going towards
probably.
Yes, 100%. 100%. They just want to raise the number. They just want to raise Black Mage, more people to play it. At the end of the day, more people play, more people try. If it still sucks, whatever. Hey, instead, dude, Mage is shared among 3 jobs. You have 2 jobs that have so good utility. Who the fuck is gonna bring a Black Mage? Unless you're dumb.
What if
right?
the fire force
you're
so
dumb.
high? What if
no,
the
it doesn't
fire
matter.
force is huge.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether fire 4 damage is huge. It can eventually make the fight faster, or if you are doing speed run when you don't die. But when it comes to progression, that rest is so important when it comes to progression.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the thing. It's not about the potency. They don't get it.
For Prague, you don't take Black Mage because no res. Yeah.
It's the utility, But Square Enix doesn't care. They just want to make sure that, hey, at least our caster player base now attempt Black Mage. Even though it's probably still going to be I still foresee it to be the least played, especially now you have Ultimate, right? That rest is even more important. Like, I don't need to go into any people will understand how great rest is in any pro.
Do you want Black Mage to have res? Because I don't.
I don't. But that's what I mean. They don't know what they can do. They just don't know.
And that's just it, though. You have 15 jobs. How are you going to satisfy the 7 that's going to fall out of meta?
Right.
You can't. You can't. It's just going to be like that.
Well,
it's going to be like that.
Out of the 3 casters, I feel like there just needs to be a reason to play each one of them.
Yeah.
So like for Prague, you want to bring Summoner or Red Mage. And then it's just kind of at that point, it's kind of just preference of what you want. Summoner at the moment does more than Red Mage, of course. Red Mage is a little bit better on the raises, but Summoner's reses are still really good. And then if Black Mage's damage goes way up, then maybe.
Well, they could give them more magic defense.
Maybe it will raise usability for sure. Yeah. But will it solve the problem? Same for Samurai. Like people will still play Samurai. I'm pretty sure people will still play Samurai, especially the next rate here is Savage.
People are still gonna play it. Yeah.
People is still gonna play. I think for the next rate here, because it's Savage, it's gonna be not difficult. I'm not gonna say easy. It's not gonna be difficult. I think if you bring a Black and Samurai, or you bring both, you don't bring a Ninja, you don't bring a Paladin, I think you will still clear Savage, right?
Well, of course.
Right?
You can clear with all of them.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Final Fantasy 14, right?
It's
anything goes.
For that. Yeah.
It's good enough for that.
I want to go back to the whole meta thing just for a second with Ninja and the whole diversion thing they're doing. So I'm wondering, this is an issue. This has been an issue since Ninja has become like the utility god with making Imity go away for tanks. or like increasing their enmity and making it to where they don't have to be in tank stance. So you're eliminating tank stance overall. And they said, well, let's just do it even more. Let's make it to where tanks don't need it as much, and diversion is just stronger now.
Yeah.
Right. So what would have even sparked this? You're just like, man, amity's such an issue. What? There's a job out there that can fix. Hey, give it to Ninja. Let make ninjas like fix this issue. And now ninjas are going to be in every single raid because they're so fucking important to damage.
Why wasn't Ninja Trick Attack changed? I thought for sure Ninja Trick Attack was going to get nerfed. And like maybe they would change Ninja Potency overall to make up for it. But I thought for sure that Trick Attack was going to get nerfed.
There's so many things about Ninja that...
Arthas, tell us, because you want Ninja to be nerfed, right, Arthas?
I mean, I don't want Ninja to be nerfed. I just want more Ninja, I want other job to be able to fill that role. Smoke screen and shit walker is too good. Now in chat, I know people is saying that, oh man, we claim without a Ninja. I get it.
I love your voice for chat. I love how every time you talk about anyone in chat, you're like,
yeah, like it's just a general noise, right? Like I get it. You can clear that is the beauty of 14. You can do it, but it doesn't solve exactly optimization. It doesn't solve the. I mean, I don't want to say main issue because people might say, but I'm just a casual. It doesn't matter. I can go samurai and dude. Even if you are casual, there are standards. So if you are casual, you want to make things easier. Ninja makes things easier. Now, samurai doesn't make things easier.
Let's talk about Party Finder, right? So Party Finder, I'm like, man, I need to fill a melee into this role. You have a choice about what melees can join in there. So you can say, well, obviously Ninja's going to make this easier. So all the party fighters are going to be lined up and they're going to care. They're going to actually deselect. I don't want a samurai in here. I don't want this. That's the issue that comes into play. And that happens in JP servers because they do a lot of stuff through Party Finder, right? They can say, hey, I don't want these jobs because I want to clear this fight. I haven't cleared it yet. So these other guys just get fucked over. That's the problem. There shouldn't be like such an overwhelmingly I guess significant choice. Bias. Say, hey, look, only this job matters.
I get it for Savage or most content, any job, any seller can come. I get it. But when you get to the point, especially now with Ultimate, when you get to the point where Party Finder starts to change, no Dark Knight. Party Finder starts to change, always have a Ninja. Party Finder starts to change, no Astrologian. This job needs something more. Just for playability. Just for playability. Now, your Square Enix gets it. The changes that they are going to add is going to increase the playability of those jobs. That doesn't solve the problem. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people think, oh, it's fine. You don't need a ninja or you don't need a paladin or you can get a black. I get it. We get it. But if you were to say something like that, that shows that you don't understand the problem, what the problem is. Oh, samurai is fine. The number of DPS a samurai does is enough to lack of utility. I mean, sure, your group you will still clear the fight. Your group is going to struggle. If you are talking about a fine line between getting world first or not, right? That optimization method. Oh, but world first Dark Knight cleared. Yeah, they either got lucky or they just spend more time or they are just better. Right? That has nothing to do with Dark Knight being better than Warrior or Paladin. Nothing. Dark Knight is the worst. Right? The fact that they clear is because they are better, they are more dedicated, they spend more time, and they are more lucky. Now, if that group don't get world first, and they are 1 hour behind world first, you take a fucking mic, you interview those 7 other members at point blank, take a knife point at them, tell me the truth. All 7 of them will tell you, fuck, if we had a Paladin or Warrior, if we don't have that Dark Knight, we would have cleared. Now, the JP, after they clear world first, hey, again, I played Dark Knight for fun. No, I mean, no disrespect. I respect those for fun. Right? Oh my god, I played Dark Knight.
We got world first for fun. World first is fun. We got it for fun, guys.
Yeah. We do it for fun, Dark Knight, dude. If they don't get world first, those 7 members would kick him in the heartbeat if they are that serious, right? It's not because Dark Knight is good. It's not because Dark Knight can do the job, but it's not because Dark Knight is better than the others too, right? That is the problem. People don't get it.
There'll be some animosity against the person going Dark Knight in that case. Yeah.
Oh man, Arthas, I understand your feelings. I understand.
This same situation applies for samurai, applies to monk to an extent. I mean, monks still have utility, but they're fucking blunt.
What do you think the monk changes are going to do? Do you think it's going to help monk? Like, is it going to make people go monk instead of samurai?
Oh, samurai is dead. Done. Samurai is done. Samurai is done until 4.3 because 4.2, because how easy Savage is, samurai can fit in any group. You will clear the content on Square Enix paper database. Samurai is awesome, but that means that samurai is not going to get anything until 4.3. And samurai is done. Samurai is done. So you might as well plug out your PlayStation. Plug out your cable, right? Your game is lagging, but you haven't get kicked out of the game. You play samurai, just press button. Nobody gives a shit. In a raid group, samurai is like playing a solo MMORPG. You don't offer anything. Right?
A solo MMO.
Yeah, a solo MMO. You don't offer anything. Nobody needs your help. You are irrelevant in voice chat. Maybe you can make yourself feel a little bit useful. Hey, guys, I'm going to use feed here. Oh, no one gives a fuck. It's Savage, right? That's basically samurai. Your samurai static don't need voice chat. That guy can be deaf. The guy can be a mute. It doesn't fucking matter. Samurai just doing his own thing, right? There's no such thing as aligning these at this point. Mm-hmm. Can you give me this idea? Oh, can you give me a good? Get the fuck out, right? Oh, good. Samurai can get the fuck out, right? Samurai is done.
I feel like Arthas, you've had this stuff in your chest, and you're just like,
is this personal?
It's personal. I want to play samurai. I want to be, dude. I want to be that guy that does nothing. But come on, man.
What do you mean right now? What do you mean?
Like I'm used to be a samurai. Man, I'm not raging because samurai is ripped.
Arthas, what do you bring to raid? What do you do with raid? It's ninja, right? You're a ninja.
I'm a samurai. I'm a samurai.
I was a samurai. I don't even mind playing a samurai. I want to play a samurai, but like I said earlier on the show, right? Now the pinnacle is ultimate. I just don't. I can see myself playing samurai for fun in Savage.
What about Dragoon? You haven't talked about Dragoon yet.
Yeah,
Dragoon is awesome.
Dragoon's great.
Dragoon is awesome.
Dragoon is super balanced. Dragoon and Ninja is the most balanced.
Ninja's not balanced.
Yeah, I take that back.
Ninja's not balanced. Dragoon's pretty good, but
Dragoon is really balanced. Dragoon is super balanced. Ninja is a little bit over the top. Not because they are that good in DPS, but you see what I mean? This is exactly what I mean. Ninja doesn't do, if you put on paper, right? If you flatten it out, Ninja probably is doing the lowest tier of DPS, right? But
personally, yes.
What he brings to the table outweighs everything. Now, will the samurai single DPS or even black mage, say after the buff, will that damage increase evening out? I don't think so, because proc is proc. The longer you survive, the further you drag the fight out, even it means zombie. Your raid mage do nothing but rest people, you progress faster. No question about it. Oh man, we got to this phase. Let me throw in one more fire fall. Yay! No, you don't progress. Right? Let me throw in one more rest. We see one more mechanic. That is progression.
Yeah.
But once you clear everything,
prog is not for black mage, obviously. Like, if you're gonna bring a caster, you bring either the summoner or the red mage. Which the summoner changes were a little strange because they said they were buffing Akmorn but nerfing AoE. So what if their thought process here was before they were like, summoner needs something to do during AoE.
So
let's buff their Tribind. And then they buff the Tribind and they're like, Tribind's a little too strong now.
Okay. So let's talk about why they would nerf AoE. What value does nerfing AoE have going into these raids?
Nothing.
Unless we're gonna deal with AoE situations in the upcoming raids.
Maybe. But then do they balance for raids or do they balance for just general?
I think it's
general. Probably, yeah.
I think it's general.
I think it's just dungeon runs. You bring a summoner and they just melt everything, and they don't want that. I guess.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, because we could have A2 all over again, right?
I think they're just. Maybe. I think they're just gonna bring Tribind down a little bit. I think that's all it's gonna be. I think they're just gonna bring, or maybe damage fall off on Tribind, or something like that.
It's weird. I don't know. Well, we have 24 hours, when the servers to go down, to sit there and listen to him read the notes and explain to us why they're making these changes.
Yeah. But it's strange that they said AoE nerf, but then they're buffing Akmorn. What?
Yeah.
Maybe
they're making a single target. buff? Like it does damage to single target and
Yeah,
low
yeah.
damage
Follow-up is
around
more.
it? Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
maybe.
Follow-up is more.
Mm.
I would be hurt personally. Don't do that, please.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
Well, they said the single target damage is the same, so it's almost no relevant change to raid.
yeah. I mean, that's where right now it seems like they make most of the raids out to single target, but I mean, they could sneak it past us, man.
Yeah.
Well, they also said they're going to make healers more usable. But
Yeah, they said no nerfs to healers, but more what?
more usability. Again, usability, right? It's
What does that mean?
So, are they going to give them smokescreen? I mean, are they going to give them trick attack?
Oh, so
Are they going to give them crit buffs?
The samurai doesn't need that stuff. The healer can
Yeah.
Yeah, the healer just does it. They're like, hey, here's my healer trick attack.
I tell you, man, they are looking at the wrong things. They are addressing I mean, it's good that they are adjusting, but every time the player, when the whole, I don't want to say whole, when player base who knows what we are dealing with, what is needed, and then for them to come out with adjustment that totally doesn't make
Opposite.
sense, you
Yeah.
know that they are doing something wrong. You know that they don't get it. They don't understand.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say they don't understand. I feel like that's always such a broad statement to say towards like Square Enix. I mean, we could feel that for sure, but man,
I think they
I don't
understand,
know.
but I think they understand, but I feel like some jobs they don't know where they want to go with it.
Yeah,
Because you can't, like Larry was saying earlier, for Black Mage, the way Black Mage is, or is in a normal Final Fantasy universe, race is just out of the picture. You can't give Black Mage race just for law
Yeah,
purpose.
no
just
race. Yeah, it can't be.
classic argument. Black Mage just don't get rest. I feel that it's the same for Samurai. Think about Samurai. Samurai utility since when? Like never, right? It just doesn't work, So maybe for them, they are taking this stance. I don't mind. Because again, I keep saying again and again, you can still do almost every content. That so far we haven't met a situation like Gordius, where Astrologian is just totally doesn't work. That job is just broken. Just broken. No way. Although other people get that, but there's a video that when
There we go.
Astrologian season 3, right? No, the
There's
one
a
guy
voice
doesn't
again.
represent anything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at
Well,
least
I
so
think-
far
I think
we don't
the
have this
healers are
problem.
pretty balanced
the healers.
overall.
Now it's
healers are
balanced.
pretty
I
good
think now
spot.
it's balanced.
Well, I mean, Astro's always been balanced, but. So I mean, like, if we're gonna talk about usability, that's the only thing I can think of is that they take some of the other abilities, but they can't introduce new abilities. They can just add on
Yeah.
effects. I guess they can say, hey,
That's the thing, right? That's the thing about diversion, right? You really thought that, hey guys, we're gonna make some changes to hit management. You think that, are we gonna see some player base would want? I'm not saying that we expected it, because like Frosty says, they can't add any new ability. But for a player point of view, that we know what is needed and what should be taken away from Ninja. Not say fully taken away, but what we can take from Ninja to make other DPS useful. Because we all know the hit management is too huge. Now, when Square Enix talk about the hit, we were thinking about, are we going to get a mini Shade Walker, mini scope?
Mhm.
No, you're just going to get a buff diversion.
Just
Like,
give them all shirk. Give samurai shirk.
yeah, just add shirk to like the whole cross roll actions.
Yeah.
It's like across every job action.
Everybody.
Everyone
Everybody
can
can shirk.
shirk.
yeah. Like we thought that these, you see, we are all in agreement because these are the better adjustment to so-called make more job balance. We all get it. They don't. They just think that diversion going down. Dude, fuck, you don't even
It's
touch
like-
diversion. You can just let Samurai third eye and shed enmity like what? These
Do they want enmity to matter? Or do they not want it to matter? I don't know.
Yeah.
exactly right. You
I don't
even
know.
I mean, I
direction.
feel like that's
Hey,
part of
guys.
what tanks are supposed to be. They're supposed to be like, this is a part of my skill. I manage my enmity, not get a job to completely replace me from having to deal with it.
Everybody gives me their enmity. I know.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want to do the enmity.
Yeah, I want to have to
I'm the
say,
guy.
but I mean, in the end, you start doing this thing like, hey, I need to balance out. Hey, I need to push out more damage, but somehow
Yeah.
keep, my enmity. That's what a
Right.
tank should
I like
be doing.
that.
But
Yeah,
that's
but
not
the meta right now is all about giving head. It's all about now. It's all about shot. Right now, it's all about
Everybody
shit.
give the tank
And
enmity.
Arthas, you're really good at giving hate for sure.
There was people in my chat that tells me that, why do they think that they need to increase hate generation? Are the tanks on your server that bad, dude? If you would say that, that means you don't fucking understand how the game works right now. I get it. You can get your palette to get Frosty to press a Rage of Harlon 10,000 times. For example, just give me an example. Get Frosty to spam Rage of Harlon 100 times. He's never gonna get a problem with hit. Does that solve the problem? It doesn't, right? Frosty is gonna do shit damage, right? Do you want that to happen? The tanks on your server is bad. Yeah. That's not the problem. We are talking about the meta. We are talking about what is best for the game. How everybody is enjoying the game right now, right?
Man, I like Rage of Halone, dude. Come on.
Just Rage of Halone, just enmity combo.
Yeah, that's not just enmity combo. And I do that a lot during Prague. I'm gonna be honest, I'll get in there.
It's fine. Yeah.
I deal with situations.
I enmity combo like probably too much because I'm not a tank.
Because I hate the fact as soon as someone else gets hate, I did something wrong. I don't blame the ninja. I don't blame anyone else. I blame myself. Which that's just, the person I am. Although if there's a ninja in there, I should never fucking lose hate. I mean, that's the end of the story. But I mean, it's going to happen anyway. So I'm just Rage of Halone. I want to clear the fight. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's okay. It's okay, man. All right. So if you guys want to go into a lighter conversation, we could talk about something that's really I don't know. Like, I forgot that. Fuck inventory right now. I want to talk about elemental resistances, dude. They're just like, this is a completely useless thing that they've had in a game where you could put in fire resistance and air, all the other different resistances.
What's that?
Yeah, seriously, what's that? That's basically what it's been. It's been in the game forever for no reason at all. And now they're like, hey, let's get rid of it. And then we're going to make a whole zone about it.
A whole zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you pick your god in the beginning, when you make your character, oh my god, is this gonna matter? This one has
my birthday. What does
what does that do?
Like what?
This guy is a little bit stronger against fire.
Oh my god, is there gonna be a molten core I gotta deal with here? I mean, like, well, do I gotta think about this stuff? And then it's all completely worthless. I mean, materia didn't even matter for the longest time, and then they let's bring it back into relevance, and now they're like.
But why don't you just meld fire resistance Materion for Ultimate Coil of Bahamut?
Why not? It's funny because I was working with a Goka. He asked me just random one day, hey, you know what? Let's just test out resistances. And so we just went in and died to Shinryu a lot so we could test out resistance stuff. And now all that's completely worthless because they're just removing it from the game.
Wait, did you see a difference?
I don't know. I didn't ask him about it or follow up with it or anything, but I assume there's almost nothing there. But
it's not a fun kind of thing to worry about. Just like accuracy is not a fun thing to worry about.
Well, you're gonna worry about it in Eureka. Yeah. I just don't know how.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I don't want to.
So is Eureka gonna be like, hey, for this boss, we all need to readjust our levels or something to go into an ice resistance? Or?
Maybe it's something you interact with and it gives you a resistance to a certain thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's cool. Bringing elemental,
that could be cool.
Bringing elemental affinity. I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's not a good idea when we talk about what we are dealing with right now, mechanics. I mean,
not in a raid,
raiding,
not in a raid, exactly. But in an open world kind of thing like Eureka, sounds like it could be cool.
Yeah, it could be cool. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess
it's a brand new thing. It's a brand new system. It's a brand new battle system. Will it work?
You know what else was Diadem was a new system. It was a new kind of experience.
Like glorified fates.
Wars of Verminion was a new thing. Like Triple Triad was a new thing. Like I don't know. I can't. I don't have high expectations right now.
Let's just hope it's like Palace of the Dead. Palace of the Dead was a success.
That's what it is. A success. I would say it's a success. Yep.
It was a success. Let's say I'm gonna hope Eureka is a success. I think they've seen all of the shit that happened with Diadem, and they're like, we really don't want that to happen again. I liked Diadem, actually. Unpopular opinion. I liked Diadem.
I didn't like what it turned into. I didn't like what the player base.
I like the idea.
Yeah,
I like the idea.
We have to have railings. We have to say, hey, you players can't completely fuck over what we're intending you to do here. You have to be in there without completely restricting us. It's really weird. They have to find ways to encourage us to play like normal human beings. and not super aggressive farmers. So I don't know how they're going to do that with Eureka. And the thing that's really getting me with the elemental stuff is that, like, I don't want to sit there and, like, oh, well, we're going to this boss. Let me slightly rearrange how my little crystals or things.
I definitely don't want that.
Yeah, and so I don't know how. I can't think of any other way it's going to work.
Well, what if, like, what I was thinking was, like, well, let's say you're going to go fight this boss that's lightning, and, like the bosses in the level 69 dungeon, the second boss, the one where he, like, has a certain...
The circles?
With the circles, and you got to get a resistance, like, something like that. I don't know. Then it just becomes a mechanic.
Yeah, it's not really part of your level up system. So
yeah, that's not part of the properties. That's just mechanics.
Goes to show we're not game designers.
Yeah. So. Well, we'll find out, and hopefully, God, fuck, I'm hoping that it's something relatively interesting.
I hope it's good.
I hope it's good. Yeah.
I hope it's good. Because
something new at least.
I mean, Relic keeps me wanting to do something on the game. So
same.
Elemental tank swaps. Okay, so we had a good thought here from Twitch chat. Elemental tank swaps. So you have like a fire tank and an ice tank, and so they change what their attacks are, but depending on what you leveled up, could be...
That's cool for the tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it for all kinds. You could say, hey, you have to go into this mechanic, and to go into this mechanic, you have to run through fire. And then to go through this mechanic and push this lever, you have to run through ice. There's ways that you can kind of make that work, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll just see.
I'm going to be an ice mage.
Ice mage?
Yeah.
Or maybe if you build up your elemental properties, your ice attacks become stronger.
Yeah, we'll do a blizzard rotation. It's freeze going to be useful. It's going to be so cool.
All right. The other thing is they said solo to 8 players, so that kind of gives you that whole like Palace of the Dead feel. Yeah, you could go in there solo if you want to.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you can kill anything or if you have to find other groups.
Like progress. Let's be clear first. Like Eureka is not just for Relic. Relic is part of Eureka. It's not the other way around. So if you want to do Relic, obviously that might, like I say, because it's not all about Relic. So obviously in Eureka itself, obviously they might have stuff that you do. But in terms of the Relic portion, Yoshida did say very long ago, I'm not sure whether things change, that even if you're going solo and want to prop your Relic, you can do it, but obviously your progress will be significantly slower than, say, in a group. So
you go in a group.
Maybe some trash mob, you can, like just like old school MMO, right? I want to farm X amount or something. If I solo, obviously it's not efficient. If I do in group, it's faster. Maybe something like that.
As long, I think the important thing here is that it can be soloed, because if you go into Diadem and you can't do Diadem.
Right.
Not at all.
So maybe you just go in there to build up your character. You're just like, I do small things in there and I build up my character, make it stronger. So when I'm in a group, kind of like Monster Hunter, like you go out there, you kill bosses and you try to get equipment or whatever. So when you go with a group, you can clear the big boss that you have to clear with multiple people, the higher level one or whatever.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or more Monster Hunter-esque things. Like I was actually talking about this with Drac when we were playing the beta. I was like, what? Because it was my first time playing Monster Hunter, and you have to like pick up on the track of the monster, and that's how you find them. I was like, what if it's like that? You pick up on tracks and find them. What if they do something like that?
That could be interesting. I mean, they kind of did that a little bit with Diadem, right? They're like,
they kind of did that. Yeah,
it wasn't as beautiful as Monster Hunter is, where you have little
the
glowy fireflies that you follow around.
I like the shiny fireflies. Put those in the game. I like them.
Yeah, why not? Okay. The other thing, they have, this is Arthas' like biggest topic, but they were talking a little bit about PvP. And then Arthas is his favorite thing. And they're like making it in this whole new arena and everything else. They didn't really give us anything, but there's going to be some changes to it. I want to say what they're doing.
There's going to be PvP changes.
There's going to be PvP changes. What they're doing, and I'll just say this is a very general thing, is they're trying to make it more suitable for the casual environment. So you can come in there and you can't mess up that bad. Right now you can mess up pretty bad, but they're trying to put little limits in there. Like if you don't know what you're doing, then you're not going to completely.
I don't want to mess up. Well, what do you think about the raise changes?
Okay, so Arthas, what do you think about the race changes where instead of going back to the base, you raise right where you are instead of having to raise back at your base?
What do I think? I don't give a shit.
So
what do you think it does to the game?
I want to talk more about the arena than the mechanics, to be honest.
All right, tell me about the arena, Arthas. Tell me about the arena.
It looks really cool.
Okay. Looks really cool, right? But
yeah,
think way back, right? You guys done Crystal Tower, right? You guys done Crystal Tower series, right?
never.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
let's just say you can watch the screen, you can watch the cutscene. Like the lore is so good, right? Oh, after you kill Emperor Zande, some guys have to be left behind to look after Crystal Tower for the rest of eternity, right? I will be here. I will look after. I will seal this place. Everything will be fine. Leave it to me, right? 3 patches later, hey guys, I'm so fucking bored in the Crystal Tower. I redesigned, I revamped the arena. Come on in, let's go PvP. From now on, I'm your host, I'm your commentator. I'm so fucking bored. Join me for the next eternity. Let's go to the arena. Do you like that? How the fuck does Emperor Zande feel about this? He's dead. I don't care. Zande somewhere in Earth or Hell is like, what the fuck? Where's my throne? It's gone. This is now the winner's throne. I revamped the whole place. This is my Crystal Tower right now. Yo, get Attis on the show and riddle me that. How did
riddle me that? Attis, riddle me that, Attis.
How? I don't get it. Like, seriously? You could have picked somewhere else, but Crystal, I mean, not talking about PvP side, right? You just mess up the whole thing, man. People think it's cool. It is cool, but
maybe,
oh my god,
maybe it's something that's not part of Crystal Tower anymore. It's shot off into the clouds and it's been up there just hanging out. And we're like, oh, we found this cool Crystal Tower place that just got shot off from Crystal Tower. We'll just go in there and we'll mess around. It's a PvP zone. We don't need to do anything else with it. Let's fight on top of it.
But it's so. Are you saying it's not canon? Or is it?
Are you saying it messes up the story arc?
I don't know. Yo, if you have to walk to the Crystal Tower and unlock the arena, I will lose my mind. Like if the guy will come out, the door open. Hey, my friends! He's probably wearing some fucking peacock.
He has like an alcoholic
hey guys, you guys miss me? Let's go. And then they start playing funky music.
Funky music.
I'm done.
I really like that imagery. I'm just so bored here. Please come.
It's for an eternity. They just, oh my god, I can't. That's the first thing I thought when they opened up the Crystal Tower arena. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, didn't they steal off this place for good? What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to go deep into PvP right now because I'll have a PvP show soon, I'm sure, and we'll go into it and discuss it probably after we experience a lot of these changes. But they're just making it. A lot of people are kind of upset with them. It's going to be weird. It's going to be different, but all they need to do to fix PvP is make people want to play PvP, and so they have to find ways to do it. I don't know if this is the answer.
Changing the rules is not going to do that.
Yeah.
They need to incentivize some other way.
If they want to create some tournament and they want to say, hey, I want people to come in and tons and hundreds of people competing against each other, and we're going to have a tournament at FanFest, we're going to have red team registration. If 5 teams sign up, is that a fucking tournament? I mean, they have to get people in there to want to play, and I don't know what they're going to do to incentivize it. I don't think being on stage at FanFest is going to be like, well, I'm going to go in and be the best PvPer so I could be on the stage of FanFest for, a few seconds and then be done. That's not I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the way that PvP works, I think it's fun. So
it is.
I think it's
fun.
Good.
It's fun.
So I don't actually know what they need to do to make people want to play it, because I think it's already good.
The next level, yeah. The fun level is good.
They have to bring in
how to bring it to the stage. That is what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? You gotta,
and I don't see it with any of the notes. I don't see anything in there that's saying, "Hey, we are going to start bringing people in to play more PvP." There's no proper incentive and advertisement for it. Hey guys, give us another try. Hey, come in here. I know it sucked at first. You didn't like it back in 3.x because there was too much out there. It's too confusing. We've changed it. It's better now. People have their own opinions about it and everything else. But in general, if you're coming into PvP right now, you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna have fun. But Go ahead.
Well, the thing that they have with the top 100, you get top 100, you get the glamour. That's awesome. Why don't they have glamours
They need mounts back.
for lower things? Like
Yeah.
just play
Yeah.
and you get stuff.
Because people will just stop playing after they get to that point.
But at least at least they play though. Like what Larry says, if you're only top 500, top 100, there's only going to be two possibilities: people who can get there, and people, the mass majority, obviously, is not going to get there. What about some?
I think it's too exclusive.
Well,
There can be something that's exclusive. Like there should be something that's exclusive.
right.
But I think there should be more stuff for people to get.
Well, they could also make it to where, you know, the rewards from doing a match actually gives you something.
Yeah.
Because you get
You
wolf
should
smarts
get
for
something.
old gear, and then you have a cap for it, and it doesn't translate to anything else in the entire game
Yeah.
universe.
Like I feel like the only way to do PvP right now is like you either do a ton of it so that you can maybe get that glamour, or you do nothing.
Right.
That's it.
If they made it to where, like, hey, if I get, you know, max amount of wolf marks or whatever, I can buy materia, sure. Or I can buy something that has some value somewhere. That
Yeah.
would be great. But at the moment, there's nothing that you can get from it when you're doing these matches. You're not farming anything. And again, that was a big issue back in the day when you were farming stuff. And then people would do it for EXP. People would do it for just minor stuff. They would just go in there and kill themselves. They don't care. They're just farming it that way. But
Yeah.
don't make it like to the point to where, hey, if I go in here, this is the easiest way to get the best EXP, the best everything. But it's a way. And so you don't feel like you're completely just going in there to play. And that's what it is. You're just going in there to play right now. There's nothing else from it.
Exactly. It's
They
like
also need rank
the
fixing.
competitive level is either impossible to elevate, like all the things that we say is just make PvP more appealing to people. But the competitive level, like Frosty says, you can get 500 people to play. At the end of the day, if there's only 5 teams who wants to go to the next level, how
That's
are you going
not
to promote
very
that? That
good.
is difficult. That one is
I mean,
difficult.
and that's what it is right now. I mean,
yeah.
seriously, they have community leagues and everything else, and there's only like 8 teams out of the entire community that's built up around this of 2,000 people that just came together in like a Discord. It's not that big, and I feel bad. Like when I play solo queue right now, I know who the fuck's on everyone's teams. I know what they do. I know everything about these people. It's
Yeah,
not like I'm
that's-
fighting anyone new. And if someone
That's like
new, they
when
suck.
Back when I played like Ratchet and Clank on PS2 online, nobody played that, but so everybody on the game knew each other, and that's what happens in the PvP in this game.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they
literally
definitely
it.
rank decay so that the people that do play keep playing the whole time.
They have to find ways to incentive people logging in to queue in and play. And if you're you don't have to wait an hour in a queue to have someone log in and not understand how something works, and you completely die because the healer forgot that he had to have a healer button where he heals. He doesn't know what Cure 1 is. He just sits there, or Cure 2, and you just lose. And then you're like, why would I wait an hour for that?
Well, think of like Overwatch, like as an example. Like you can play as little as you want, and you can still get all of the rewards.
The gold weapon, yeah.
You can get everything.
Yeah.
Versus like this mode, you can play a little bit, you get nothing. You could play a medium amount, you get nothing. You only have the only way to get something cool is to play a lot.
Yeah.
And most
then-
people don't want to put that time commitment in.
Yeah. And it would be easier, too, if, like, you instantly got a queue or you had a queue within 10 minutes, no matter when you're queuing. But now you have to queue, like, within this, like, 5-hour range. This is
Well,
your
that's
little
like
window.
that's like oh yeah, they changed that, right?
Well, they're going to do it for team registration.
Oh, for team register. Okay.
Excuse me. I think they're gonna do it to where you're like, you only get rank points for your team within this time window or something.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and so
I think they're thinking like there's less people, so like we'll just condense it into.
and that's
this.
an idea.
That's an idea, maybe. Yeah.
That's a good idea because I mean, people will like say, "Hey, let's just queue at the same time. I'll let you win and you let me win, and we'll just build up points like that."
Yeah.
But this will condense it to where a lot of teams are queuing up, and so maybe it's going to be harder to try to.
Can't do that.
Maybe it's still going to happen, but it could fix it. But
Yeah.
that's good for PvP. I just want to say the only way to fix it is to get people to play it.
Yeah.
All right, so if you want to, we'll see what happens with this patch. If it makes more people want to play, but it's all right.
We'll see.
So, Arthas, what about houses, dude? What about the house
I
changes?
mean,
What do you-
I mean, for everybody who, especially those Reddit always complaining about can't get houses, I think this would help. But people is still gonna complain. I feel they're never gonna satisfy all the RPs, all the in-game boyfriend, girlfriend who want to buy a house, or the FC that want to get out. But this would help. This would definitely help. So I mean, if coming from a neutral point of view, this should have been in game for a long time already. And I personally feel that it should. I personally feel, although it's probably not a good idea, because I mean, especially in NA, due to how much gear you guys have, I actually was hoping for like an auction system, but we just decided to do timing and those changes. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. The changes is okay because it's not fair. The way housing was handled since it was released, except for the beginning because of ridiculous price, and then it eventually depreciated.
Yeah, when the
that
game
was
first
actually
came out. Yeah.
that was actually a good system because they value the land according to server economy. Now it doesn't. Now NAs is gonna be very difficult. I mean, not now. I mean now, before 4.2, NAs are very difficult to get a house because of how much money people have and how cheap the price is. So I kind of understand those couples, those RPs talking about can't get a house, even though we have been farming since 4.0, but then you didn't lock in immediately at patch. That's actually your fault. To be honest, that's actually your fault. You can't lock in. You can't press the insert key fast enough. That's honestly your fault. But I meant
it's a skill. It's a skill. Yeah, you're right.
If you want to buy the house, take a day off, right? Don't complain on Reddit. But I can understand as a neutral point of view. I can understand. It's difficult to get a house.
You're a casual house buyer.
You're a casual house buyer, dude.
Exactly,
you don't deserve
right?
a house. You're too casual.
You're too
Exactly,
casual.
right? But this would help. I think this would help. Now I'm happy with that. Now,
Well,
I mean,
the one house per service account per server needed to be there from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm glad that's
Yes.
finally there.
yes, finally, that needs to be there. That would help a little bit. The FC and personal houses as well. You know, they're gonna. Initially, I thought that when they first talk about it's just going to be FC house first until a certain period of time. Then they open to individual. I'm like, then that means the individual will never get a house anymore. You know how many FCs out there wants to get a house, and then they come back and say that they will monitor each server and say until a certain point, then they will open a certain.
It'll probably fill. Yeah, it'll probably. I mean, FC should have it first. I think
FC should have it first. Same.
Yeah.
I agree. FC should have it first.
But then again, you just have like 5 FCs, and you just make it to where they all have 4 people in there. You have 5 houses, right?
Yeah, that's possible.
I don't know.
But selling is going to be tedious though. But now they make the new selling process. Now I bought a house. I don't want to be the douchebag. I didn't want to be the guy that sell the next day. I bought it for 3 million JP Gil. Someone offered me 24 million the next day. I went, nah. I mean, I want it. That's the reason why I buy the house. But I don't want to be a douchebag, right? I don't want to be a douchebag. So I'm like, you know what? It's only 3 million. Let's sit on it. Maybe one day, if someone really, really need it, somebody is like, I want a house. I will like, yeah, sure, man. You can have mine. Now, after the changes, I'm like, fuck. I just waste. I mean, it's not a lot of money. I just waste 3 million. The house does absolutely nothing. By the way, if you want to buy a house, let me just tell you first. The house only satisfy your satisfaction for 2 days. After that, no one will give a shit about your house.
Well,
hey, come to my house and look at my bathtub.
Because there's stuff that you can do with it.
Oh,
FCs for sure.
Yeah, FCs and
personal.
Yeah, I don't care.
Personal is for your
Personal
decorating needs.
Weird. Yeah. So now for me, I'm worried, right? I want to sell the house ASAP, but
Look at my.
I don't mind. I don't mind. But it's good though. It's good though. And at least on JP, I don't really see a lot of people. I don't really see a lot of real housing agents selling houses. But I heard that it's a big problem, and especially that what Larry was saying earlier. One account, one house per world, right? So with that and this, I think everybody should have it. And if you still can't get a house in 4.2. Seriously, I don't know anybody who posts anything about housing.
They're too casual.
Get a house.
They're too casual.
You gotta practice the route. You gotta go to the ferry skipper, practice the route of how you go to the house beforehand.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I did with Shirogane. I practiced how to get to the house I was gonna buy.
Yeah, everybody did that, man. Everybody did that. Everybody tactical placements, everybody. Now I think it's more fair. It's definitely more fair like that. Definitely. So if you still can't get it, really, you just done. You have more things to worry about than the house, right? Maybe you should go play maybe story. Right.
Okay. There's a couple other things here that I don't really care about. I don't know if you guys.
You don't care about glamour?
No, I don't. I don't care about glamour. I don't care about inventory. I don't care about any of this stuff. I know they're quality of life things.
Yeah, they're quality of life good stuff.
They're not important to me. Like, I don't wake up in the morning and you're like, man, I really wish I had 999 stacks of one item. I don't fantasize over this.
Those are just QOL. Yeah, just QOL.
I don't think, oh man, this would be cool. It's just like they're quality of life things, and people are like, wow, this is super amazing and everything else. This is stuff that should be in the game. I'm not going to be like, yay, finally. I'm going to be like, okay, good.
The thing that I'm happiest about is finally being able to have a different glamour on the same gear for different jobs. So like all my tanks can look different now. So now my Dark Knight can look edgy, and now my Paladin can look so heroic.
Well, that's great, but then it's like I feel like if looking at some of the system, it seems still kind of complicated to deal with. It doesn't look like it's that easy. Maybe I'm just looking at it the wrong angle.
It's complicated. You got to hang out in the cities all the time and then go into the inn and then change it in there. At least for now, that's what it's going to be.
Well, yeah, for now.
So yeah, and that's insane. If it's complicated, I don't want to deal with it. Fuck that. I'm just going to go raid.
Well,
if it makes me, I don't care. It's too much work.
Says the guy with a mock head. Hello?
Mock has the best. Why would you get a different glamour?
That's why he doesn't care about glamour. He just wears the Mog head.
It works fine. There's nothing else. Why would you need to look good when you just wear a Mog head?
Yeah. All you need.
They haven't introduced anything else that I'm like, oh man, I want to change my head and I want to put this helmet on. I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I'd rather have a Mog head. I don't know.
Yo, show me your fashion points, man. Fashion points talks from 4.2 onwards, okay? We will see how much points you get.
You're gonna do terrible in that mini game.
What the fuck? Why does that mini game exist? What?
I don't know. And why was Yoshi P so bad at it?
It's like
he went to go talk to the person naked. He's like, "Here's my glamour. I'm wearing a dress and a cowboy hat, and that's it."
So I get to go with this algorithm in the game to tell me if I'm really good at setting up gear and glamour. Did they hire someone who was like a fashion designer? They went through all of the glamours and they're like,
probably
here is exactly what I think this setup should be. Okay, what if they just have somebody just like in the background, just sitting there waiting for people to submit their fashion, and then they they get it and they're like, oh, someone is playing this game. Let me look at it. Ooh, this color doesn't match. Judge negative 10 points. Judge negative 5 points. Okay, send back. You got a 75. That's like his entire job.
Simon is gonna be like, well, I think your glamour could be better. You know those fashion people. That's how they judge, right?
Oh, you have like a panel of 3 judges, and then you have like what do you call
it? You have the nice one. You have the tough one.
Dog, you got it. This is looking fly. You looking different today. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, you looking different today. You're looking good.
And you know, you got to be different. You got to stand out in order to make it in the Final Fantasy glamour world. You can't just sit out there and look like a normal person. You got to peacock that shit.
And then you got the guy with the sunglasses like, this isn't doing it for me. You need to change something. You know, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this system isn't for you.
You shouldn't glamour anymore. Just don't come back.
Yeah,
go do your raids or whatever you people do.
It's gonna be a thing on Twitter, man. This
Put
thing
that
is
Mog head on.
Twitter, man. You know, the first day, everybody will be posting their fashion points. Oh my god!
Gee, everybody in chat's like, I'm never coming back to this channel ever again. We're done. Glamour's the end game. Okay, it can't. I like looking good every once in a while. I'm like, hey, I get the urge. I'm like, let me look at what armor is out there. Okay, this looks kind of cool. And then I just forget about it for like 6 months. And I'm like, I guess I should change it.
We're going to have party finders for statics. Chad was saying, must be 90%.
Oh, yeah.
90%.
FM log. That's what someone saying in chat. FM logs will track fashion points. Oh, my
God.
Your fashion point 90% tile it up only. Static. You got to look good.
Oh, can we talk about the elephant in the room for a second? When is Final Fantasy 14 dating sim mini game coming out?
Wait, I thought we have that already.
I mean, it's called Balmong, right? I mean, that's the mini.
delivery.
No, but Balmung, you can't date Aymeric. Nobody can be Aymeric. Nobody can make Aymeric character.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right. Well, that kind of hits a lot of the stuff that is there something that you guys are like, man, I wish we would have talked about this, because I can't think of anything else besides that, what we said that I actually really do care about.
Oh, the Bard instruments.
I was skipping it, man. You know why? Because it's the same fucking instrument, just sounds different. How hard is it to make graphics for a guitar?
I'm playing a harp.
We're giving Square Enix shit for this. I know they put a lot of work into it, but yeah, it just doesn't. All right, but then again, it's another system that people care. It's to me, it's a quality of life system. It's like, oh, it's something kind of neat to do on the side. It's not like it's not something that I'm like hyped up.
I am not musically inclined. So.
Yeah, me either. Obviously, yeah, I'd go out there. God, start playing Jurassic Park.
I can't music as well. I can't.
Did you say you can't music?
I can't music.
He can't.
Oh God.
You're casual player of music.
All right, guys. Let's. We only have a few questions in here. There's not a lot, so we'll go through some of these questions. If you guys want to ask questions, this is your time to do it. I'm going to start going through some of them. We have a couple, looks like kind of serious questions here. The first one happened around the beginning of the show, before the show even started. Like we just didn't hit it. And this is from Terrell. Which classes do you think most you'd like to see an actual buff happen? What actually really needs a nerf? So if you thought about it a little bit, what actually does need a nerf that you guys didn't see? What probably should be getting a buff that we didn't see as well?
Ninja nerf.
Ninja should have got nerfed for sure.
Ninja nerf.
Yeah.
What needs a buff? Samurai.
Samurai needs buff somehow, some way.
When we say buff, we don't necessarily mean like
damage.
I mean, they can exactly not damage. Like I can tell you, the 9 of the 10 samurais out there would take a 5% DPS card, and then somehow have a form of utility that makes up that 5%, or even something that doesn't need to be any DPS related, but makes the for mitigation it's worth for. That's what Ninja is. Ninja is not the best, but you can see how much value Ninja have. Not just samurai, even monks as well. I mean, monks do have a little bit of value. Your brotherhood, your mantra, but Dragoon and Ninja just have way more. Right now, for samurai, that's what we need. Black Mage goes the same for Black Mage, right?
Yeah.
I guess you can go to a certain extent to Dark Knight, but
I find it interesting that they've never even touched Red Mage at all, and it still feels good.
Yeah,
Red Mage they released it in Stormblood, and for this is like the 5th change patch now, and it's never been touched.
Red Mage is pretty balanced.
Yeah. It's pretty balanced. It's really good at balancing its mana.
It's pretty bad. Black between the black and white magic. I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good at that.
Okay, so kind of to go off that a little bit, when we're talking about these changes coming into 4.2, Irish Rager had a question. He said, with them, do you think there's going to be any shift in the meta at all? Or is it going to be pretty much the same? It really depends on how the tank changes happen, right?
So you mean tank changes, every patch,
every raid will always change meta. That's MMO in general, right? You don't want a job.
Yeah.
Except for Ninja, which we just covered because of the tools. But in terms of not just how the fight works, also how the adjustment they come in. I mean, typically in an MMO, especially with a lot of playable jobs or roles, changes just have to keep coming in. It happens. It's not because your job got nerfed or your job got buffed. These changes has to happen because for the development standpoint, right? They have to, when we are talking about earlier, they have to look at jobs being equally played. So for right now, obviously we have a meta, and that's because of the utility. Now, how the next raid tier is going to be, but it's savage. So I don't really think, unless you're going for speed kills, I don't really think the optimization matters in general. But Ultimate will be where I think this issue will come back as a more hot topic. But in general, MMO, right? Meta always shift, and you want to always see the meta changes. Like I give you an example, like Overwatch. They have so much hero, right? Every single patch, every single hero just become better. It's not because your job got nerfed. It's not because that job got buffed. It's neither. Otherwise, who would want to play the other? It will be a still boring game, right? So, especially now, Final Fantasy is different from other MMO where you get to play all 15 jobs. So you are not being nerfed. You have the choice. Although you don't like it, you don't like to play a healer, you don't like to play a samurai, you don't like it, but the decision is there. And if you care, if you want to talk about the meta, if you want to get into the meta, you want to join groups that care, optimization is something that you want to look into, you should be prepared. If you play a range, you must play both bard and machinist. If you play a tank, you must play all 3 tank. If you play healer, you must play all 3 healer. Yeah. If you just put you put all your apples into one basket and you feel being undone by a patch and you feel that you don't fit the meta, you feel left out, I'm sorry, that is your fault. This game encourages you to do that. You know?
Yeah, that's why like as a caster I like to play all the 3 so that I kind of just like switch around.
I mean,
you have to.
This game is kind of meant to do that too. I mean, if they're going to keep releasing new jobs, and in the end we're going to have like 20, 25 jobs.
Exactly.
You should be able to go between different jobs. I mean, it's meant to do that.
Within that role. Yes. Within that role.
Yeah,
it's part of the system.
Like at a high level, play all of the jobs that's the same role at a high level.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, you could do pretty much whatever you want with that character. You're not going to be stuck to that job if it sucks.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, also like
it's your choice if you play it. So,
like, let's say the fight needs, like, it has ads or something, and it needs you to bind them. All of a sudden, you need a caster because all 3 of them have a bind. So, if something's gonna need, like, turn 7 with the Reynad, and you have to bind it. What if they have something like that? All of a sudden, you need a caster now.
Well, I mean, Ninja can do that, right?
Ninja not very well.
A little bit trickier. Yeah.
Not very well, but yeah.
I get Bard. Well, yeah, Bard has bind. Yeah, range.
It can, but also not as good.
Yeah.
Like, it depends on what it is, but yeah. Like, for instance, like turn 7, for instance, like a Reynad, Ninja would not have been able to do that very well because you had to get in melee range and the Reynad would kill you, for instance. So you had to bind it from far away, and that's why you would need a caster. So, like, yeah, if they did something like that, that would be kind of cool. Like, but that's an instance of the fight changing what the meta is. We don't know until the fights come out.
Yeah. All right, here's a question, and it was directed towards Arthas. Do you think it's possible to beat any content in this game using just Raid Finder or Party Finder outside of JP data centers? And that's, I think, one at the current state, unless if it's Ultimate, that's true, right?
Cool.
Yeah, everything but Ultimate.
Yeah, Ultimate, everything but Ultimate. I mean, I have already heard that Parks have cleared Ultimate in JP. I'm not sure about NA. I mean, some people told me that
really?
NA. Yeah. Parks have clear Ultimate on JP, but I think NA isn't doing bad, right? I heard people say that there's a, like Primal data center. Someone was telling me that they've seen a few groups that's already on this S phase, right? So shouldn't be far. I don't think Ultimate is, if we were to break up all the fight. If I were to present Twintania, I present Nail, I present the trio, I present the S phase, I present the Golden Bahamut to you individually. I think everybody can do it. It's just, you know, the length of the fight, getting 8 dedicated people. I think, especially at a patch time where outside from Ultimate right now, you don't really have anything else to do. If you were to just tell somebody, hey, do you want to sub this game 2 months straight? We just prop Ultimate. I'm not sure whether the guy wants to do it. Pretty sure that guy can do it, but I think that is the problem, right? People who want to stay together. I don't think it's the... that might sound like it's the PF problem as well, because maybe people not dedicated enough for PF. I'm not sure, but can be done. Obviously, it can be done.
Okay.
I mean, everything is done already, right? Except for Ultimate.
I think it might be a little hard for NA to do it in Party Finder, because just the NA mentality of just like, the group is pulling me down, it's not my fault, doesn't help in like really hard.
And that
stuff.
doesn't just stay in the raid scene. I can tell you right now, in the PvP scene, It's always, oh, this person's the reason I lost. Not
Exactly.
It's never you. It's like, oh, this healer sucks. Oh,
never me.
it's always someone else. And that may be slightly legitimate, but I mean, you still have your role to play. I don't know.
But that's why JP servers do so well in Party Finder and Pugs and stuff like that, is because they have the different mentality of I'm taking all of the blame on me now,
Yeah,
and I'm
that is
trying
true.
to fix it.
That is that is true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm not an NA. I mean, I'm not JP. I'm not an NA, but I'm more lean towards NA mentality. When I go PF, right, or even on JP server, sometimes I also feel like, man, this guy is the reason why we can't clear.
Yeah.
But for the JP is always their fault. Like, what?
They're like, I'm sorry.
Nah, dude, oh my god, we go back to Ultimate a little bit. Like my substatic leader, right? Find people to help the fight. I'm not considered a helper, even though I clear, because I want to clear on my alt as well, right? So technically, I still have a reason to be there. I'm still motivated to get a clear for my alt, although I cleared, but I'm not technically a helper. I have an incentive. So the leader find people to help. These people, legends by the way, all seems to always screws things up. And my leader and another two members, I mean, maybe you can include me half-half because I also want to clear, right? But there's 3 people in the group that didn't clear. These 3 people that haven't cleared always perform better than these 4 other helpers. Not including me, I'm always top performer, just saying, right? But these other people...
just saying.
Just saying, I'm the best.
Always.
Yeah.
You know, these 4 helpers always die. They all wear the title Legend Golden Weapon. They always die. For me, it's like, dude, you are here to help. You are here to make things worse. That's my 2 cents. That is
what
true.
I feel is that they're getting so relaxed. They're like, I've done it already. I'm just very relaxed.
It is.
I don't have to prove myself. I have a title.
That's why
I got it over my head. It's right here. It says I'm good.
Yeah.
That's why I never believe that I personally, I never believe in the idea, the concept of helpers. Helpers will never be more motivated than people looking for clear. People who are looking for clear always have 110 focus, dedication. Helpers, I'm not saying that they are bad. They usually only turns up with 90%. It depends on the person. Yeah. Exactly. So the leader is like, you know, me as an NA, I'm not NA, me as not a non-JP, you know, me and that guy always talk to one another. He always like asking me, oh man, Arthars, I'm sorry. Are you angry with the people? Are you angry today? Because he always sees my stream raging, right? But me, doesn't mean that I hate them or don't want to do with them, right? I'm just voicing my opinion, right? So he's like, are you angry? I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, it's not your fault. Why are you apologizing to me? Oh, because I feel that I invited him. Okay, but those are the people that should apologize. Why are you saying? And my leader even went out and said, hey guys, I'm sorry to get the 4 of you here to help, man. It's so trappy. Dude, they are the trap! Why are you apologizing to them for this group being trappy? They are the reason we are They are legendary trappers. I can't understand it. Like
his webcam white balance.
It's, when you like go back and you freak out, your camera just like darkens really quick and then it comes back.
It's like his camera can't handle him.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Larry will have this in real life. Even in real life, he will see a lot of this situation as well. Right?
Yeah.
They are weird.
Okay. Side story, kind of, but it has to do with this. So Eva got into a fender bender in a parking lot. It wasn't even a fender bender. It was just like she was backing up and another car was backing up and they touched.
Mm-hmm.
They just touched, and then they stopped, pulled back in. There was like no marks on anything. Nothing happened. They had to call the police to come by. And you know the thing that they do in America, where like if somebody dies in a car accident, they have to do the trajectories, pull out figure out all the math to be like how fast this guy was going, which direction was he going. They did that in the parking lot for a fender bender where they touched each other. Like, and everybody's like, sorry, I'm so sorry. Like,
oh my god,
the culture is very different. It's
funny. Different. Like I had a situation. Like I bought this car and some kid like had this car and he you know, it was a stoplight. I went forward a little bit, moved the car up because everybody moved up a little bit, and then he wasn't paying attention. He was like, "Oh, it's time to go," and he hit the gas pedal and hit the back of my car. And it didn't really do a lot of damage, but it was kind of in that turn lane. And so a cop eventually came by. He's like, "All right, guys, just come over here." He follows over there. He's like, "Hey, do you want me to stay? It's not a big deal," and he just left. It's like, whatever. It doesn't matter, man. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay. We got a few more questions here. We'll just go through a little bit more lighthearted here. This one's for Larry from Yumu. When are we racing for the Necromancer title? 1 through 200 streams, same time, 1 death equals you to get disqualified. That sounds horrible.
You want to race me on that, Yomu? You want to do that too? Are you a masochist?
I mean, like, as soon as you die, you're like, okay, well, we're disqualified. We can't just start again. I feel like you would have to start
Nobody
again.
does that in one try.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do. How long would that take? 1 to 200?
A while.
Like
Take 1 to
48
100
hours?
Well, 1 to
Wait,
100.
how does that work?
Hours.
How does that work? You have to do 1 to 200 in one
You have to
sitting.
do 1 to 200.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You have to do 1 to 200. 1 to 100 took me 8 hours. So I would assume it just compounds from there because the floors just get harder.
So yeah, I would think that it would at least take you 24. It would be a 24-hour stream.
24-hour stream,
And
1
then
to 200.
It's always ending in disappointment. You know?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one person who's ever not ended in disappointment
Yeah.
with that. So
Wow.
Sounds like a bad idea, Yobu.
That's an achievement. Now that is an achievement.
Do it
Yeah.
straight.
yeah. Okay.
For that stuff.
Arthas, I don't think this is the person who did it. They wrote their name as Countersauce on Twitch. Maybe, I don't know. It could be. He says, how much DKP would you put down on Baiko's Hadate? What the hell is that? That's the Tiger guy.
Oh, Bayako. Okay.
How much DKP would you put down on it? Does that mean anything to you at all?
I don't know what that means.
You don't even. Okay, so that question was completely random. DKP is like points in a raid.
The points.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay,
How
so
much?
I don't know. Hidate, is that his full name?
Oh, Bayako Haidate?
Yeah, Hidate. Okay, there you go. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, it's Japanese Day.
The
Oh.
FF11 item. How much DKP? Wait, in FF11, right? He says, or he says FF14.
It just says it doesn't say either.
Okay, I assume he mean FF11. Holy shit, that pants is the best. The best item for what, 10 years? Dude, that shit is legit, man. The best item. If you want me to put that, I mean, obviously, I don't know how much points would be
Let's
considered.
just say a million. A million.
How about 2 million?
Relate it.
That's how good. That's how good that pants is.
Let's relate it to Gil. All right, let's do it that
How
way.
long
How
did
much
it take
Gil?
you
Okay, Gil. NA Gil. Three
Trillion.
accounts worth of max Gil for that.
Okay.
NA, right? NA Gil.
How long does it take you to get that?
Whew. 3 years.
3 years.
3
Took me 3
years.
Try to get that pants. Number one,
You could get a college degree or
You can call it degree or you get some
okay.
pets.
Number one, the drop rate is really bad. All right, the drop rate is really bad. Number one. Number two, the drop rate of the trigger item to pop that boss is really rare. You know, sometimes you can go 1 day, 24-hour, and it will only spawn twice for you to get an item to spawn the boss. And the boss only have like a 20-25% drop rate on the pants. And then you have a whole freaking link shell, like aka a guild, about 18 people that wants to roll it, that have enough points or more points than you. And JP don't really go for JP system doesn't go really like, hey, you got maximum point, you go first. JP doesn't do that. JP, like, you know, again, cultural thingy, treats everybody. Well, if you if you were there, even though you know, like I say, right, one day you maybe can sometimes, pop the boss, the Ulikumi boss for like two times. And you have to win another, God knows, 5 to 10 link shell that is farming that NM. The chance of getting the pants is really low at the beginning. And not to mention, RMT also farm those, because those pants are fucking hot selling pants. As even for RMT. RMT do end game content to sell items, right? That's how legit the FF11 community was, right? It's
So legit.
They talk so fondly of 11, and every time people tell me about 11, I'm like, that sounds like hell.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to
It took me 3 years. Of course, not. I mean, our link shell don't always have 24 because there's so many things to do in Final Fantasy 11. So we don't really, go for this end game every day. So maybe we will set 2 to 3 days, do Sky NM, another 2 to 3 days, do this. That. So on top of that, you farm, but we of course we have rule that it can be dual. It can be low manable to farm those triggers. So if you can, if you and this small little bunch of people can go get it, and then you get the pop item. If the pants drop, you guys obviously will have first dibs because you guys farm for it, right? So
Right.
I went ham. I went weeks. I farmed 8 sets. I know how shitty my luck is. I farmed 8 sets. So that I tell myself, okay, it's a 20% chance 3 pants should drop in the 8 sets, right? Only me and the other guy wants it. We will get it. You and me. Let's go. We fought 8 and it drops 0. Right?
Oh,
And then you hear all the any stories on the BG forums, man. Oh my god, I got 1 out of 1. Oh my god, 3 out of 4. Whee! Best day in my life. And I'm just sitting there like,
that
8
sucks.
stats. Didn't drop. Me and
So-
the other girl is like,
I thought this was going to be like a random question that didn't mean anything, and then it turned into this
Yeah.
huge, crazy
It's turned
story.
into a huge story. I want to know, RMT sold it. How much money would it cost?
10 million,
I wanna
20
know.
million.
No,
Dollars?
dollars,
No.
American
Oh,
dollars.
money? No, no, no.
RMT.
No. Guild. They sell the guild.
Oh, they
But-
sell it for Gil. Oh, then they sell
Now,
Gil. Okay.
Final Fantasy 11 guild is really worth. 1
So-
million of Final Fantasy guild is about $25.
So,
It's a lot of money.
what are we talking about when we're talking? Never mind. We won't get into RMT stuff. We'll
No,
just-
no, let's
So basically-
not.
we'll get out of it. We'll
This
get
is
out of it.
11. It's okay. It's
It's
over.
11. It's over. 11's done. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
So
last.
basically, what Counter Source wants to know,
Oh.
how much I value the pants. For me personally, that's how much I value the pants. It's the best. It's really hard to get.
Took longer than a college
with
degree.
my luck, 3 years. It took me 3 years. I mean, not consecutively farming 3 years,
Yeah.
but say consistently attend the event, having that because there's so many things to do in FF11. So I cannot. I mean, that is really worth going for. If I were to say if I were to be able to say only myself farming this and I get full dips on this item, maybe you will only take 1 month, maybe, but. Took me 3 years. I just didn't have the luck. And also, not everybody stayed in the 3 years. Link shell changes, people pull out, things like that. So 3 years, man. It took me about 3 years to
right.
finally get the pants.
We got one last question for you, Arthur. So you ready for it?
Okay.
The question was, do you have any marriage tips for Frosty and Larry?
What?
That's the question. Do you have marriage tips for Frosty and Larry?
Like in Final Fantasy 14 context, or
I guess just in general marriage tips. I don't know.
okay, let's touch about Final Fantasy 14 first. Don't tell them to raid. No? You can raid with your.
I raid with her.
I
Don't-
read it with my fiance. Yeah.
But we're casual, so
Look at his mouth's twitching. He's just like,
he started
Don't?
twitching immediately. Like, what?
just don't, right?
What?
Just don't. No, I'm just kidding.
okay. No.
No, I'm not actually. Don't just don't. Number one, Final Fantasy 14, don't raid with one another, right? Don't destroy that wonder marriage. We're not talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, right? We're talking about marriage.
We'll talk about
Don't-
marriage.
don't-
Yeah.
Like if you and your girlfriend can raid, that's fine. You might find that she's a piece of shit in raiding. You break up.
You break up. Okay.
Marriage, for the sake of the long-term relationship, don't let it be a chance to destroy what is so beautiful, right? For boyfriend, girlfriend, it's fine, right? Raid, they probably
boyfriend.
break up, right? I don't know. But married, husband and wife, don't raid. One day you're gonna have kids. One of you is gonna handle that diaper while you are half pulling a raid. Okay. Otherwise, both of you will face this baby rage at the back. No. Right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, you don't have that problem. Fine.
So you have to rate at separate times too, right? So
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Don't raid together. I'm not saying that you can't raid
Right.
in 14. Don't raid together. Don't raid together.
Okay.
Me and my wife tried it during Ion when we were raiding together. My first bond was only 3 months old. Holy shit, man. We were in the middle of the pool of a 2 hours dungeon to get to the rank S pool. One shot. You only got a shot at it. Otherwise, you waste 2 hours. And my kid started crying. And me and my wife like, what you? Yeah! We can't even do anything. We were just screaming in agony like, help! You know, we just don't.
It's hilarious. Okay. I think that's good. Okay. We'll stop there for questions.
Okay.
Okay. That's all we got to say.
I saw the clip of you talking about maybe rating Ultimate with your wife, and you were like, "But if you suck, I'm sorry."
How did that go? I never followed up with that, Arthars. How did that go?
Yeah, my wife acknowledged that. I mean, okay, I don't want to yell at her. I'm saving our relationship. I don't want to break it. I don't want
it was
upset her.
A legit thing to say.
I don't want her to upset me. You know, we have a fine line. I welcome you to do expert dungeon with me. 0 DPS white mage scum casual piece of nice wife. But no rating, no, just don't. I don't want to be accountable, right? Like, hey,
I've rated with Eva since forever, so
yeah, I've rated with my fiance. Like, you went from boyfriend girlfriend to engaged while rating. So
yeah,
I mean, like, yeah. So I mean, like, we do okay. Yeah, I'm sure
we're not super hardcore, so
yeah, that's the difference. Like, we don't.
Yeah, it depends on your expectation. For me, I don't want to be accountable for her because I mean I know her enough. She's my wife. Maybe you guys' wife is awesome. There are awesome wives out there that can rate probably better than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That type of situation is
Eva
okay.
carries me as a healer. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah. I mean, if you are that's a wonderful, right? Then you should be giving me tips.
It's funny.
You should be giving my wife tips, right?
You know, it's funny. Like when we were doing, like, Kurt doesn't play really anymore because she has to work all the time. She works like 70 hours a week. But and we stopped the static and everything else just because, like, it just got to a point, not because of me and Kerr, but because of, like, just it was at a point 3 years we're like, hey, I have work and there's other things coming in here. I'm holding people back because some days I can't make it. So that's really what it turned into. But during those last few times we were raiding, I mean, this happened before. She every time, like, I would take damage, she's like, why are you taking so much fucking damage? She's like,
healer tank.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is, like, when I was playing Paladin at the beginning of Stormblood and we were doing a raid, and she just said this, like, I know Paladin's like fucking god now, but fucking use a cooldown or something like that. I was like, okay, I get it.
But it's up to the individual, right? Like when I see my wife doesn't do holy in dungeon, I'll be like, why don't you holy? There's nothing to do. I don't even press cure. I'm a shit white mage. I don't even cast cure 1 and cure 2. I'm like, you don't need to. And then she's like, hey, but if you die, you will blame me. Okay, but if you don't DPS, I'll blame you too. Now that's me, right? That's her, right? So in this situation, for me, I would say, yeah, don't raid with your wife. You know,
I have fun with it.
It will work. It will work. You know, just, you know.
I don't know if, like, the other people in my group, I think they were fine with it. I don't know. Maybe they never said anything bad about it, but I think that's usually what the perception is when a husband, wife, or couple, you know, raider comes together. They're like, well, we can't say anything bad to one because we're saying something bad to two. Yes. And so people kind of get that.
That definitely happens if, like, the raid isn't, I guess, close. Like, in our case, in our raid, like, we're all, like, super close. We've been friends for years, so in that case, like, they're not afraid to be like, Larry, you're being fucking stupid right now. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's business. It's business. You draw a line. It's business. Now, people who being overprotective, that's wrong, right? If your wife is bad, your girlfriend is bad, you have to address it. You know, you cannot be overprotective. You know, there's a line. It's business. Marriage.
That happens too.
Business. Yeah. Well, that's why in the video, I tell my wife, if we happen to raid one day, common understanding, you know, we have to draw out a contract. You know, this has nothing to do with the marriage, the relationship, strictly business raiding.
I mean, but you say that, but
you can draw the line. It's okay.
It's nearly impossible to draw that line. People get emotional, emotional things like, and so that stuff happens. I mean, you're going to have situations where, like, I don't like the way this person's speaking to my wife when she messed up. She already feels bad and you get defensive, and that's just part of it. But that's
human being. I will feel bad as well, right? If my wife get all the shit, if she suck, She deserves all the shit. But when I see it, I mean, obviously I will feel bad. I'm a human being. That's why for me, right? The best way to save her, protect her, is to don't get her into the raid scene with me. She can go do with someone else, but no, right?
I think it just works. It depends on the group you're with. It 100% just depends.
Yeah, of course.
If you're group playing with friends and people are like, "Hey, yeah, it's just not working out." I mean, and people won't like go out there and just say, "Hey, you fucking suck." That's the kind of group you can't be in those groups. You have to be in groups that are like, "Hey, like we're messing up. People are dying. Why are people dying?" You have a discussion. It's not like really toxic, and you can do it in that kind of atmosphere. But it usually has to be with friends. It doesn't. It can't be in like a serious.
Yeah, it can't be a serious group. Yeah.
And that's good advice, like for everybody. If you're a couple and you're raiding together, you have to be respectful to everybody in the group.
Yeah.
And not just side with the person you're a couple with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be respectful to the entire group.
No.
Now the main problem is that most NA, not just that thing, even in PF, even in duty finder, even in expert dungeon,
happens there too.
They hold 2 votes. They can kick you really easily. Right? I don't dare to talk shit in NA. There was once incident. I've said this story so many times. Let me just quickly say it.
Okay.
One time, I went to the expert dungeon. This scholar is doing 0 DPS. I'm a tank. She heals me up. We are doing the dungeon really slowly. I was on stream and like, oh my god, everybody's making fun, right? But you know, I'm a nice guy. I'm a forgiving guy. I don't shit talk people a lot in their face. Behind the scene, I do. But in the face, I don't. So I waited to the dungeon. I even typed it out mid-dungeon. I showed the chat. I'm going to type this out to the person. I'm going to type like, hey, scholar, comma, punctuation even on point. Maybe time you can try to do slightly more DPS so that it will improve the efficiency of the group. I write quite long, man. I even have smiley face, XOXO, XD,
Love you.
Right? So after the dungeon end, I press enter. The first thing that I got is not from the scholar, it's from the monk. The monk tell me, fuck you. I'm like, whoa. Luckily, I never typed earlier. I would get kicked already by then, right? I was so kind. And then people tell me, hey, you cannot put nice message at the end. People will be
just never say anything to anybody.
Yeah. They'll probably take it sarcastically. They're probably already tense about it. They're just like not going to respond.
From that point on, I never type anything anymore.
Yep.
I'm just like, okay, no, you know?
I'll just talk, but I will never say anything about how people are playing ever.
No, I don't.
Just vote abandon.
It's not worth it.
Reform the group. JP style has it down. All right. That's good. It's funny. I was like, okay, now we can wrap up the show. Wait, let's go back into this. If we just start
FF11 time. Oh no, didn't say anything.
Oh no, FF11. We're not gonna do it again. No. Man, but thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you everybody watching the show. It's been great. Before we get off here, I do want you guys to shout out yourselves, tell people where they can find you, and also, shout out people. Maybe you want to say, hey, this person's, awesome and great. I like this person. And Larry, you want to do that first?
Hi, I'm Larry. I'm Larryzaur on YouTube and on Twitch. I stream on Twitch and make YouTube videos. You can find me over there. Who do I want to shout out? Yomu, we're raiding in a little bit.
Yeah, hey.
We're going to clear, right, Yomu?
We're going to do it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe do a shout out to Eva too, right?
And Eva, my healing partner. Well, she's not my healing partner. She's my healer. I'm not the healer. She's my healer.
I actually did become Kerr's healing partner one day, and I don't know how well she liked that. I think she liked it more where she didn't have to depend on me as a partner.
I've healed with Eva, and she's like, you're doing it all wrong. You're being terrible. You're probably right.
Please follow this guy. Go look at his content. Go check him out. Here, let's do a little shout out. Shout out Larryzaur. Here we go. It's an amazing guy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. And now you guys should know Arthas by now. People keep saying he's like the co-host, but I don't think Arthas could be a co-host of MogTalk. He couldn't wake up every single show for every single week.
No, this is Frosty show. I'm not. I cannot, and I don't. Not even close to to be. I mean, I might be a good guess, but no, I can't be a co-host. No, just not my thing.
We love
He-
having you on either
too
way,
much
Arthas.
already.
It's
Yeah,
great to
okay,
have you.
okay.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful guest here. Fantastic at shouting out and saying his opinions and making sure you understand what's going on through his mind. But go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, Arthas.
I mean, you can find me via Twitch. I mainly stream on Twitch, but I stream on any timing, so you might not be able to catch me. That's fine. I would like to shout out so many people. I would like to shout out. Like, can I just generalize it and say like the Twitch community? Like,
Yeah.
I always say this because I play on JP server, right? The people that I deal with is all JP, right? For me, is when I play on JP server, it's all about business. But to stream, 2 years ago, to finally stream on Twitch, start to make me feel like, wow, actually I don't have to play the game with only people I know in game. I can actually make so much more friends. I get an opportunity like now to, attend awesome show. I get to meet awesome people like Larry or some other guests, every time I get on the show, which is nice. For me, this is super wonderful experience. I get to meet people I don't even play with, but we share so much thing together. So for me, really good experience. I'm really happy that, I can be part of this community. Again, sadly, I stream on, my time zone is different. So like, Larry probably will share the same.
Yeah, it's been difficult being here. I have to stream like right early in the morning to be like at an okay
very
time.
difficult.
Yeah.
So for you guys to, not directly supporting me, but at least enjoy, what we are putting out here. Enjoy, I think it's a very good compliment. Very flattered that, you guys enjoy me on the show, but mainly I want to shout out to all of you guys. And also, please enjoy 4.2. Oh, and special someone for now. This guy is super awesome. He's in the chat. Phone Microwave. This guy is super awesome. Go and check him out. He's a new, very, very new Final Fantasy 14 player, but the amount of things that he achieved the last 5-6 days is unreal. Go check him out. Really good. As a new player, go check him out.
Okay.
Really good guy. He's like my go-to people to watch right now. Like, I don't know how to explain. It's just when I watch him, like how I feel on Twitch. It feels like you're part of it. Go check him out. Really, really, really awesome.
That's some pretty big words there. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Really, really awesome.
All right. Well, guys, please watch him on his stream. Of course, his Twitch name's there, Arthas. You can go through his clips. If you're really bored, just go through Arthas's clips. You're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So...
Oh my god!
It's always a great time going watching whatever the fuck random shit happened on your stream and what you went through and whatever rant you went through. But guys, again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all the mods in the channel for helping out. Thank you very much for Kerr for the emotional support in the background. Thank you very much for Andre Kane for allowing me to use his cover of the Final Fantasy VII battle music for the beginning and the end of the show, and Blizzana for the artwork here. We're going to go through the ending credits here. Hold on 1 second because we are going to host somebody. We're going to decide who we're going to do that. But, before all that, we're going to say bye. So, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to be good, keep cool, stay frosty. Bye.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
Well, see you in 4.2, guys. See you in 4.2.
4.2.
4.2.